All right, everybody, welcome out to the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, September the 30th, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai munching on his dinner. How are you, sir?
No, it's a cookie. You blew the plan.
Oh, damn, you're right. Okay, hold on. No.
We're gonna go back.
We're going back in time. Okay. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Boys from the Storage Room podcast. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Please explain to them why I just did that. See, I got you.
I got a cookie in my mouth. I got an almond cookie, by the way. These are they're Chinese, but that's goes entirely.
Chinese almond cookies are fantastic. Please.
They're fantastic. I love them. But completely opposite of where we're going with the show. We're actually kind of celebrating Oktoberfest today.
In and around.
You'll see as the show progresses. Right. But so if you take the Lager Room Guys, well, I wanted to do Lager Room Guys in German, and it was Der Jungs von Lagerraum is what it comes back as. Right. But I tried to translate it myself to begin with as Die Lagerzimmer Typen. Mm-hmm. But when you put that from German to English, it comes out as the storage room types. But Typen is a slang term for guys in Germany. So I don't know. I like
Die Jungs von Lagerraum translated is the boys from the storage room.
It's still the boys from the storage room.
Still the boys from the storage
room. Because as we know, lager means
to store.
To store, yeah.
To sit on, yeah. So the boys from the storage room. So we are tonight the boys from the storage room.
That explains why your microphone's tinny tonight.
Exactly.
You are a little tinny.
I am a little tinny?
Yeah. Did you have too much tuna fish?
No, I did not. How about now? Is that better? A little bit better?
A little better.
A little better. All right. So we're the boys from the storage room tonight. So there you go.
We're the boys from the storage room.
All right. And we have Vanessa. We'll get to your comments in a second. We'll bring them up as soon as we get the guest on. However, first order of business. First order of business. We have to. It's a very important day. One of our favorite days.
Well, yeah. We'll talk about it because today is International Podcast Day. Mm-hmm. And that is I believe that is what we are doing right now.
We are doing an international podcast.
And 2 days ago.
Hold on. I got to put it up first. Talk about International Podcast Day first.
Jeez, I don't know if I can vamp for like however long this is going to take you to do whatever.
2 seconds.
By complaining about having to kill the time is how I'm killing the time, John. You see what I'm doing here?
I see you did that. There you go.
You're well beyond 2 seconds, by the way.
I know. Hold on. There you go.
We need the Jeopardy theme here, but we can't use it otherwise. We'll have that. Yeah, we'll get
anyway. Yes, today is International Podcast Day. We are doing an international podcast. But 2 days ago, Dave is right, it was
International Lager Room Guys Day.
Not HISPY. Hold on, I typed wrong
there. John's having a HISPY fit. Because his fingers aren't working.
No, they're fat. There you go. Happy International Lager Room Guys Day.
5 years. Happy anniversary, John.
Happy anniversary, Dave.
It's been 5 years. This is our first show of our 6th year.
First show of our 6th year. Yes, it definitely is. And we look forward to even bigger and better shows. Well, maybe I can't say better. We've had some fantastic shows over the last 5 years.
And if we have better, all the better.
If we have better, all the better. But there's definitely some that are always going to be in the top 10 of our. Yeah. Literally top 3 of that, top 10 of that. So. It's also Extra Virgin Olive Oil Day. Happy Extra Virgin Olive Oil Day.
I will avoid my usual Rachel Ray rant.
Dave, I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What makes a virgin extra?
It's when they're squeezed.
Okay, I got it. You know, it's weird. Last Tuesday at this time was National Apple Cider Vinegar Day.
Yeah.
So over the last couple of weeks, we can make salad dressing.
We can make ourselves a vinaigrette.
We can make a vinaigrette. There you go. Right. And then we can while we're putting over salad, we can actually drink it down with
Our hot malt cider.
Our hot malt cider day. Happy.
We're not drinking any hot malt cider on the
We're
show. It's a little too warm. It was hot today.
It was very hot today. It was down here.
I really think that the seasons have shifted a month.
I believe you're right.
I think it's a full month. I think I really now think summer goes in, late into September.
But you know what though? I mean, you're not wrong, because spring definitely, is later, starts later. It's still colder, right? But we don't get the full winter. And knock on wood, when I say that, we'll probably get a horrible winter. But so I think the seasons have shifted, but they've morphed also too. I don't think they're 3 months at a clip. They've shifted and expounded and contracted.
I don't know, but also, remember Halloween back in the day? Your parents had to buy you the costume too big for you
because you had to put it over
your jacket. Yeah, because it was cold out.
Now it's Although remember that one Halloween was about 14 years ago. We had that ridiculous snowstorm on Halloween.
Yes. And then we had 2 Halloweens in a row. We had hurricanes.
Yeah, well, that was the year after that was Sandy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Irene the year after, then Sandy.
No. Irene was the year of the snowstorm on Halloween. Was Irene in August? Irene was in August.
Oh, what's it? Okay.
Irene was in August, and then the snowstorm was in October, and then the following year was Sandy.
That's right. So
anyway, I'm thirsty.
So am I.
We're going to be talking German beers and other styles too.
I'm really thirsty. I'll show you how thirsty I am.
Yeah, show us how thirsty you are in a minute. But let's bring the guest on. I think we should
do that. He's been cooling his chest for too long.
He has been. It's time to bring him on. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Dolan. Mike, how are you?
Hey guys, what's happening?
Thanks. Mike Dolan of Be United International. More on that. If you know what it is, kudos. If you don't, we'll talk about it.
It's not a European football team.
It's not. No. It's not Man United. It's Be United. So, and what did you do, Dave?
That's not me.
It's not.
The sirens usually come from Mike.
So that's probably me. You want me to shut my windows?
No. We're so used to it.
You're fine. You're in. Dave's in Union City, but you're in New York City, so you have even more of a reason to have a siren outside.
Yeah.
So you're fine. So.
It's all night long.
Usually the local fire department.
Hey,
it's been a while since
he says maybe that's me because he tunes it out. He didn't even realize it was even there. So
when you live in the city, that happens.
That happens, absolutely.
So you guys pouring out the Einbecker Unfiltered, or?
I'm about to. Dave, Mike, why don't you tell us what you're drinking? Are you drinking that right now?
Yeah, that's what I have, cold.
I will pour mine out cold too. So Dave, before as Mike and I pour our beers, why don't you talk about what you're drinking?
Yes, John has seen Mike recently, so they were able to collude a little bit with what they were drinking. But I'm going Eyinger, and I've got the Eyinger Brauweiss. So this is a Heffa, and like I said, I was thirsty, so I put it in this bad boy. So it's filled, absolutely filled. So, John, if I make it through the show without a bio break, it'll be a damn miracle.
I'll be shocked.
Actually, looking at this, I've got to go pee.
Get it out of the way now. All right. So yeah, let me put what you call. And
Mike, you guys have John? Have you had this before?
I have not. This will be the first time I'm having it.
Oh, okay, good.
So, let me actually put the crawl up there so we can talk about it as Mike and I pour it. Here we go. All right.
You want me to tell you the history of the beer? Just let me know.
So go for it. Well, this is what we're drinking. This is what Mike and I are drinking right now. It's the Einbecker, the Brauer, and the unfiltered, historic unfiltered
pills.
So
very nice. We've been working with at Be United as an importer with Einbecker since the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I joined with them about 5 years ago. But the way this beer came about was my boss, Matthias Neidhart, was in Einbeck. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I decided to do, based on your last show, every beer I'll be drinking is in its proper glassware.
There you go. Well,
only because I have it.
Only because you have it, yeah. So
Starodumsky would be proud.
He would. This is fantastic. Keep talking.
So anyway, the story of the beer is Matthias Neidhart, my boss, was over in Einbeck at a dinner, and he got talking to the head brewer there, and over dinner, I guess the conversation got boring, and the head brewer said, "Let's go, take a walk." And they walked down into the lagering caves. Matthias said it was like 4 stories down beneath the brewery. And the brewer had 2 glasses, and he just poured him something off the glass and said, "Try this." And Matthias said he tried it, and he was just blown away, because we're used to the regular Pilsner, and this is so much more aromatic and different and alive. And Matthias was like, "What is this?" And the head brewer said, "Well, this is the unfiltered for Einbeck. It's just for like the town. We don't sell it. We don't give it away. It doesn't leave the town. It's too fragile. You guys won't know what to do with it. You can't
You
have
stupid Americans."
And that went on for a couple of years, and then we convinced them through our tanker container project, which I can talk about, but that basically we could handle transporting these beers to the U.S. and then keg and can them ourselves. And so first we did kegs, and then when they tried the kegs that we had filled, they let us do cans. And so we came up with this, which we release once a year. During COVID, I think we lost it for a little bit, so there was like a 2-year gap. But it's always been a cult beer, at least in New York and Brooklyn and New Jersey where I work, because people knew the orange cans, right? They were like really recognizable, and they always seem to go really fast. So I think it's a fantastic beer.
This is so good, Dave.
Yeah.
I got to get you one. We got to get you one.
Sammy one of those.
This is fantastic.
I think we are. Yeah, I think we're completely sold out of it. Unfortunately, our Oktoberfest beers normally are sold by the last week of August.
Mm-hmm. I may know where to get him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got an in, John, because John has an in.
Good. That's good. That's good. And let me know. I'm heading up to the warehouse for a big meeting next week, so I can grab any samples you guys need.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you before then.
So yeah, that's basically
I love that story. It's fantastic. When
unfiltered pills from a brewery that's really been doing it the same way since the 14th century.
And does the brewery have any allowing it?
They predate Reinheitsgebot.
Yeah. Say that again?
Does the brewery have any regrets doing this for you guys?
Any regrets? What? I couldn't hear your last one.
Doing this beer.
No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think. I know it was something for locals, but I think we're the only importer really that does it, and we fill one container full of it, which is like 14,000 liters. And we spread that to the U.S.
Dave, that would last you a weekend.
We spread that to the U.S. one time a year,
slowing down
after the summer when it's not too hot, and that keeps it special. And then we import the regular Einbecker pills all year long as well. And we just started doing that. We used to bring their kegs over, but now it's better for us and the beer.
This being the regular Einbecker pills.
Yeah. It's better for us to bring everything over in the tank container. And if this is a good time, I'll tell you about it. It's a little nerdy, but it's how we get these.
Well, let's do some housekeeping before we get into
it. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to back up a little bit, but and I was remiss. This was Dave's first beer. There you go.
There it is.
There you go. I have that up there, and the proper spelling
and the umlaut and the double S thingy. Whatever.
How is the Eyinger tasting right now? Is it from a 500 ml bottle?
It is from that.
Oh, great.
It's damn good.
Damn good.
I like.
Very good. Oh my God, oh my God, Vanessa is.
Vanessa, we love you, dear. I don't know we can get to every one of your comments.
Yeah, we'll put a couple right now up. She said, "Hi, the Lager Room. I go beer hunting this Friday." Vanessa, you know our names. I'm just kidding. She just says hi, and then she said, "My favorite base for space available to Hawaii has flights. I just need to get there." So
there you go.
Anyway,
it's a good place to go beer hunting, I think.
Absolutely. Here you go. Brian Boak, cheers out of the house. So no beers, unfortunately.
I'm sure you'll make up for it this weekend.
You'll make up for it this weekend, Brian. There you go. Vanessa will get to a couple other years in a minute, but I want to go back really quick. Mike, one question we ask everybody that was on the show for the first time. I'm
very curious about this one.
I am as well. To the best of your recollection, because as you know, we Dave and I are of a certain age, right? And
we're not spring chickens anymore,
right? And we have well, I mean, that wasn't being pointed, right? But my point of this is a lot of the guests we have on the show are quite younger and everything else. So, when I ask this question, vastly different answer, right? But being that as it may, to the best of your recollection, what was the first craft beer you ever had? Or imported German beer, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not macro light lager.
Yeah, definitely the first, and I've been thinking about this. I went to German lagers before American craft beer, being part German and always hanging out in this area. Sure. The first ones I remember like buying on my own, I always felt very luxurious when I would buy a case of Spaten. So that has very early memories for when I was making a little bit of money. As far as craft beers, American craft, I started with a lot of English ales early, but it probably was Sierra Nevada.
Hello.
Somewhere in the mid 80s in New York, or late 80s, I guess.
There you go.
That was, the first then. And then when I was living in Philadelphia, I got exposed to a lot of the cool older Pennsylvania craft beer brands. I was always an early fan of Dock Street and Stouts, Carroll Stouts out of Adamstown, PA.
I miss Stouts.
I missed.
Yeah, we would drive out there from Philly and get the old champagne bottle 750s of Honey Maibach.
Oh, geez.
So early on, late 80s, early 90s is when all that happened. But it was German first, and then American craft for sure.
Love it. That's awesome. Can you remember off the cuff? Do you remember what the first brewery you ever visited was?
First brewery I ever visited, it was.
Was it Dock Street?
Well, I guess it was Dock Street. Even though but it was more like a restaurant with a brewery inside. So
right, Dock Street's a brew pub.
So I guess I was there, but
still kind of counts.
Yeah.
The one that I used to go to often was Stouts. I would make that drive out there. I always thought it was a beautiful drive through like Amish country, and beers were blowing my mind back then.
I gotta say one thing about Stouts is when I was a young beer drinker, Stout was the first time I ever came across Lee's.
Wow.
I didn't know what the hell was in my bottle at that point. I'm like, what is this?
What is this?
And I went and I asked around a little bit. I mean, it's like, it's in the bottle, so it must be good. So I drank it. And then I asked people, am I going to die or go blind or something? They're like, no, that's just the dead yeast in the bottom of your bottle. Most people filter that out, but they leave it there because they bottle condition. So that's how I learned about bottle conditioning, was through Stout.
There you go.
Yeah, there's always I work with a lot of people where the fine line is leave it in the bottle or put it in your glass.
Right.
And I can't decide. I'm on the fence on both.
I do both, actually. I leave it I don't pour it into my glass. until the glass is empty. Then I put it in the glass and then down it.
Yeah.
That way I've got the clean pour to begin with, but then I still drink the lees at the end.
Fair enough. All right. Cool. All right. On that note, let's get back to you. All right. So you're in Philly. You're enjoying Dock Street. I mean, you obviously had German beer. Obviously, you're getting your cases of Spaten, and I'm sure many others as well. You're in Philly. You're enjoying Docks. You're driving out to Stouts. When did the I have to do this as a career come into play?
Yeah, that was 25 years later. So for 25 years, I did a completely different career and was always a world-class consumer, I'd like to think.
We know a few of those.
And I had great tastes and a bigger budget. And so I got to go deep on craft beer. And then I guess a year, I don't know, 2 or 3 years before the pandemic. So what are we looking at?
2017.
2017.
Yep.
I decided to pick up a Saturday shift at my local craft beer bar on 86th Street, City Swiggers, still there.
City Swiggers.
Yep. And I was a great customer of theirs when they opened in like 2011. And a shift came open and I said, I want to get into craft beer. I think I need to be bartending here. I know enough about it to speak about it. I had been buying a lot of imports. I've been traveling to a lot of breweries. I've been applying to local breweries in New York as a truck driver or a warehouse guy just to get a foot in the door.
Sure.
Never got picked up. And then did bartending for like 3 years at a craft beer bar. And then one day the guy who had my job walked in from Be United and said that he was leaving to go to California and I should apply for it.
Nice.
And like a year of research later and extensive interviewing, I got the gig. And so I made a total career change, quit my job, did this full time. Had to ask my girl if it was okay if I took a 50% pay cut.
That's a big ask.
To enjoy my life in beer instead of what I'm doing. And pinch myself every day ever since because I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I get to talk about beer all day long, and not just beer, but cider and sake and mead and spirits. So
tomorrow is National Sake Day in Japan.
I know. Yeah, I know. There's a big festival happening in New York as well, but
the general admission sold out before I could get to it, and the tickets are a little too pricey for me right now.
Yeah, and how can I say this correctly? A lot of those events are importer driven, and a lot of companies don't get invited to them that have wonderful sake. I'll kind of leave it at that. And a lot, what I've noticed, not so much in the beer game anymore, but in the sake and spirits game, it can really be driven by marketing and money. And it's
that's for sure.
We as a small family-owned importer and family-owned brewery, we don't have that leverage.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great sake being made out there, and there's even really cool sake being made in New York, in Brooklyn, which maybe shouldn't be called traditional sake, but it's still fun and exciting. And
we got a few sake producers.
Actually,
in New York, even there's one at the Hudson, right? Just not too far from CIA.
There's Kura in Brooklyn and Kato in Brooklyn, and they're making things that for people who don't want to drink traditional German pilsners, right? So it's a different generation, and they're making cool cocktails and things, and that's maybe where some of the market's going.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of places that the market's going. We could talk about that ad nauseum. Not that we have.
I don't think sake is the big contributor.
No, it's not at all. No. Let me get a couple of Vanessa's comments up here. First of all, she said, "Hi, Mike." So,
Hey, Vanessa.
Hi, Mike. And then she said, "We are having some fancy steaks with our neighbor Monday. I will steak hunt Saturday at a wonderful butcher in Avon, Connecticut." So there you go.
Nice.
They have incredible aged meats. She goes, "We're talking about this beer." She said, "Unfiltered, does it come with extra debris?"
No, it's more of just a hazy. There's nothing sitting on the bottom.
Yeah.
No
And
leaves.
if you're up in Avon, which I don't know where that is, you should swing by the OEC Brewery in Oxford. It's a not to be missed experience. I can tell you more about it later.
Well, definitely.
Yeah,
We definitely get into all of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love OEC.
And she said, "Cheers." So there you go. Whatchamacallit? And then I bet, what did she say? I bet that brewery would be fun to visit, being that old. Vanessa, if you're referring to Dock Street,
You can't.
you can't. If you're referring to Stouts,
You can't either.
you can't either. There you go. So, yeah. So then she said, "Chatting too much. I do apologize. Sorry." Anyway, Vanessa, we love you. It's fine. Chat away, please.
Yes.
However, Doug Smith chimed in. He said, "Prost, absolutely love the Be United portfolio. Johnny, is that a Mets hat you're wearing?" No, Doug, it's actually a Long Live Brewing from Providence, Rhode Island, and now Boston. They have a Boston location as well.
And long live is not one of the Mets slogans.
No.
It's called
It's called Choke in Miami. That's not Long Live. Yeah.
Well, it's also the problem is we rhyme with Jets.
Yeah, that's true too. But anyway, I just love it. This is Doug. The reason I actually bought this hat when I was up in Boston at Long Live last month, and I just love the colors on it. And I figured since Oktoberfest,
pumpkin colors.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, well, fall colors, not pumpkin colors. So
yeah, it's pumpkin colors.
And then he said,
upside down.
And then he said, German beer styles are my personal favorite, and Schlenkerla makes my top 5 of all time.
Yeah, we're talking about those exceptional drinkers. This is one of them we were speaking of.
If you guys want, we can do a whole show on Schlenkerla. They're part of my portfolio.
You know, we could. You know what? I'll hold you to that. We'll do a show. We'll do a show on Schlenkerla.
Yeah, it's a Schlokerla.
A slow on Schlenkerla.
We got to visit Bamberg about 2 years ago. A small team of us from the company.
About 2 years ago.
And stayed with Matthias Trom, and he spent a day and a half with us, just taking us through the caves and
that must have been cool.
Eating his restaurant and going through the brewery. And
you went there with John Hall, were you?
Yeah,
he got about the same treatment about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's for me. It's I think always been the top beer in our portfolio. For me was Schlenkerla Helles, and to go there and see the kiln and see the brew house and then be in the lagering caves and taste the Märzen off the tank. It was like being in like Willy Wonka's world or something.
Yeah, right.
Totally unbelievable. Pinch yourself moments. It's I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it was the only place I went in Bamberg because it was strictly business.
Gotcha.
But the whole town is a worthwhile visit for sure.
She says they have the Märzen and the Erbach nearby.
That's wonderful. And soon to be released, we will have a non-sour Grodzike version, slightly smoked, low ABV, coming out in a couple weeks.
I was waiting for you to bring that up. John, don't you think for 1 minute that there'll be plenty of that?
Yeah, I think we're going to be canning and kegging it. I don't know if we're getting bottles, but I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm part Polish, so Gubicki.
I'm kind of upset that it wasn't sour, to be honest. I don't know if that's true to style, but we'll see. I think Matthias Trom is a great historian and a protector of old recipes, so he'll do a great job.
I'm sure he'll do a great job.
Yeah, well, we were in Bamberg. We actually stayed at Spezial.
Oh, nice. I didn't get to go. I was upset.
Yeah, it was a dinner that was really, really good. The breakfast was pretty damn good.
Did you have Spätzle at Spezial?
Did not have Spätzle at Spezial. I really did want that, but they did not offer it. And it's one of my favorite things.
Oh, please.
Love it.
Yeah, Vanessa just said smoked. Ooh, I should make a smoked brisket or two. Yes, you should, Vanessa. And let us know when you're going to do it, and we'll drive up. We'll bring some Be United, and we'll go over to OEC afterwards.
There we go.
Speaking about that too, we often think about recipes and how we can use our products, and a lot of people use Schlenkerla in chili.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, instead of smoke.
Last night I had an old Schlenkerla Fasten beer, the Lent beer, and I cooked black beans with it and put it in tacos.
Very nice.
Yeah, so you get a really fun. It's fun to cook with those beers as well.
That's fantastic. I gotta remember that.
I had not thought about doing. It never occurred to me to use a smoke beer in chili. There's times I've put liquid smoke in it, and I hate using liquid smoke, but I want that. So I started using overcooked coffee.
Cool. Yeah, but, I'd put an Erbach in there. It's, I'd rather do that than the coffee.
Yeah, to be honest with you though, and I think I can answer the question for you, or the statement I should say, or a question, whatever you want. Anyway, I haven't thought about it either. I'm going to now, but I haven't thought about it either. But it's normally because I don't usually have that many smoked beers, and I want to drink them. I don't want to use them in cooking. Yeah. So, Doug just said, I stayed at Fassler when I was in Bamberg. Spezial was across the street.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Fassler was closed on the days I was there.
That's sex. Vanessa said, fly up to Bradley. I live less than 2 miles from the entryway.
That's the Air Force base.
Yeah, and she said, what is it smoked with?
Which one?
Well, maybe you just because you were talking about the Lenten beer.
Yeah, so I would say at this point there's several woods, but the dominant wood in Schlenkerla beers is beechwood.
Okay.
But over the years, there's been other versions. There's an oak smoked Doppelbock.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And then Matthias started releasing newer beers. So about 2 years ago, we did a sour cherry wood Rot beer called Weichel. So there you go.
That's it right there.
And then we have
I may have one of those in my fridge.
You might.
We have an alder smoked beer as well. And I think that's it. But
what is the Schwartz smoked with?
That's going to be beechwood.
That's beechwood.
Yep.
John knows very well that in the Schlenkerla catalog, that is my favorite. Is the Erla.
Absolutely, and Vanessa says, ever have pecan wood smoked maple syrup? Yes, and I absolutely adore it.
I think I have it right over there now.
And I have it right over there too. And it definitely goes in many an old fashioned that I make. So.
It does.
And I spoke out of turn. The beer that you like, the Schwarz beer, is the it's the alder. It's the Erla.
Erla, yep.
Erla, yeah.
Love the Erla.
Alder wood. That's
It was funny, and thanks for correcting me because I know it's Schwarz, but for some reason with Spaceballs 2 coming out, I keep saying Schwartz.
Yeah, I know.
Schwartz be with you.
I get tongue tied all the time, believe me. But that one was kind of great because no one expected I never really expected what the flavor would be from alder, and you don't necessarily taste the flavor of the wood from what it's been smoked at, because that flavor could just change the flavor of the beer, but not make it smell like the wood, right? Could. So just because it's maple doesn't mean it's going to smell like maple. It'll change the flavors in different ways, and that's what's kind of the exciting part about it. And Matthias Trum is just digging deeper into historic recipes and different woods.
It's amazing.
And he's like one of two people that that smoke their own malts, Spezial and Schlenkerla, and the only two people in the world that are carrying these traditions on. So,
which is interesting because when you go to the train station in Bamberg, there it is, the big smoked malt producer.
yeah,
You can see it right from the platform. It's
sure.
like, wow, there they are. But yeah, I love the fact that Schlenkerla has in what the past, which is 5 years, doubled their catalog.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, and they've also been improving and adding to their process. They used to sprout the grain, I believe, at like street level. And then Matthias dug into some historical books. Don't quote me on this exactly, but he saw a history where the brewers were actually sprouting the grain in the caves and then bringing it upstairs to roast it or to dry it on the kiln. So he managed to get two massive, like 30-foot long growing trays down into the tunnels 300 feet, and now they're sprouting the grain underground like they used to do 400 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's astonishing.
It's kind of amazing. He showed us how they took these massive trays down there, and there was 2 inches of either side for this 2,000, 5,000 pound object to get moved down into the caves, but it worked. I think the whole town and the whole country is behind him to keep the tradition alive.
Well, what I thought was really cool when I was there was, we wanted to eat while we were there, and when we got there, we saw the line out the door. So we were a little worried, and so my partner went, and she went in to use the bathroom. She goes, place is like nearly empty. So we asked about a table. They're like, oh, that's line's just to get beer. So people are going in to get beer, and they walk out, and they're leaning against every building outside the brewery. The street is lined with people drinking Schlenkerla.
Yeah.
We walked in, sat down, and I'm watching them pour my Maybach off the cask. And I'm like, can it get any better than this? Yeah, it can. You could be downstairs drinking it off the kegs.
But
still.
That wasn't really fully carbonated either. So I think it is better up top. But every hour I went by there was 100 people chain smoking, drinking beers. And that started at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, the shame is just across the street, there's a gift shop.
Vanessa, I don't know if it's temperature controlled down there.
I know the gift shop as well. I've been there.
Right. And, I love this, but I looked in the window, and there's this one stein I fell in love with. And of course, it was the most expensive stein in the whole damn shop. It was like 140 euros. And I'm like, if that gets smashed on the way back in my luggage, no, I couldn't do it.
Sure.
Oh, that gift shop broke my heart. But John, I saw you open a second beer.
I did.
And I saw you sniff a second beer.
I did.
It was the OEC. Did you open up?
I did.
Pour mine out.
I think it's time to talk about OEC.
I think. I have a couple of questions, and then we'll get into OEC while we're drinking the OECs. Anyway.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm drinking now, and what Mike is pouring at the moment too. It is OEC Brewing Oktoberfest, their fest beer.
Very nice.
Fest beer from Oxford, Connecticut, and we'll talk about the relationship and what actually OEC is and who they are to be united and so forth and so on in just a moment. I do want to dial it back after Mike finishes pouring his beer. Dave, you still working on your boot?
No. The boot's next. This is a stein.
I'm sorry. Right.
That's a boot.
Yep.
That's coming next.
What's that? What's that a boot?
It's a boot. It's not Canadian. It is Weihenstephan.
It's the Weihenstephan, right?
I do have a. You know what? Maybe I should use in honor of Vanessa Kitty over there. I do have a United States Air Force boot.
Yes, you do.
And the thing is, it's twice the size as this boot.
Do you guys see many people ordering a boot these days?
Not so much.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
This right here.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, this is
You might be able to wear that actually.
It's a full liter.
There you go.
I got this in honor of my son who's in the Air Force, but I'll be drinking out of my Van Stefan football boot.
There you go.
There was a time in my life where I don't know, I might have been a competitive boot drinker, and I've given those years up.
I used to own a 3-liter boot.
I prefer, just a half liter. Seems like the right size to consume.
Last time I was at Hofbrau in Manhattan, I did get the 2-liter boot.
Oh.
I think I did it twice. And that night ended with me eating the brain out of the roast suckling pig.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So that's what 4 liters of German beer can do to you. Make you eat anything.
I spent many a night at Hofbrau in New York, and what's the other German beer hall on 3rd in the 40s?
There's Reichenbach Hall.
Reichenbach Hall,
yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, once you've done your 3rd shot ski because you drank so many liters, it's all downhill from there. So
I thought Reichenbach was in Texas. No,
there's some nice smaller ones in Brooklyn that I like to go to. DSK in Brooklyn is always a nice spot. Big Einbecker place, and it's a little bit different vibe than the ones in the city. Sometimes they can get a little hectic and out of control.
What's the one off of? Oh geez, it's off of Bedford in Williamsburg.
Oh, not the Bohemian Beer Garden.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm talking about.
No, not that one. I don't remember.
Does Spritzenhaus classify as a beer garden, as a German beer garden? It's kind of a using the term loosely at Spritzenhaus. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it. Oh, Radagast. You're thinking.
Radagast.
Oh, Radagast. Yeah.
Radagast.
Because I'm thinking there's a Tolkien reference in there, isn't there?
Yeah, Radagast. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been good customers for a while as well.
Yeah.
Pouring a lot of Einbecker for us. The beer gardens really it's Einbecker and Reisdorf Kolsch that are movers. A lot of the other beers,
Love Reisdorf.
A lot of the other beers that I import, at least, price point reaches up to a point where it's just not. It doesn't work for them.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right.
I'm putting this on the ground where it's safe.
There you go. That's probably a very smart idea. All right. So I want to dive into a little bit more about Be United, but since we're drinking the OEC now,
yeah.
Let's talk about OEC and the relationship to Be United.
All right. So OEC Brewing started in Oxford, Connecticut. I think we just celebrated our 11th anniversary last year, so it'll be coming up on 12. And the brewery is run by Ben Neidhart, who is Matthias Neidhart's son. So Matthias owns Be United, the import arm, and Ben owned the brewing arm. And before the brewery even became alive, Ben had worked at some of the breweries that we import, specifically De Dola in Belgium and BFM in Switzerland. And the idea started originally that we would be a blender. So OEC started as a blending project. And the whole idea was we would get the raw liquid from our producers in Europe. They would give us raw liquid and allow us to experiment. And then Ben would experiment with barrel aging that liquid. And at times, we have greenhouses and orchards up there. They would add fruit and or herbs to this raw liquid and barrel age it in wine or gin or whatever barrels, beer, bourbon, and we would come out with these obscure sour blends. And that's how OEC was born, was from a sour blending barrel project.
Yeah, so I was going to say the very first OECs I ever had were definitely all sours.
Yeah, all sours. Yeah,
and we built a brew house. We actually had Casper Schultz from Bamberg build our brew house
Nice.
2014. And the brew house was designed to brew spontaneously fermented wild ales, right? It's a sour beer brewing system, really. And it was an old historical system from 200 years ago, where the internals were copper and the externals were steel, and the bottom of the kettle was copper welded to steel, which was
nice.
A process that no one does anymore, and was something hundreds of years old. And even the angle of degree of those kettles is such that it's not very conical, which would be ideal for IPAs, right? It's very spread out and shallow, so the yeast gets room to kind of create.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we started, was a sour brewery. And we did that for many years, and they bottled 750s and had their sours on draft, and it was cool and obscure. And years later, Ben decided to start brewing clean beers, and that's when the idea of Cool Ship Lager came about.
Yeah,
and we started brewing lager in our sour brewery kettles, which was completely unheard of. And it was called Cool Ship Lager because every beer that OEC brews goes through the Cool Ship as the next process. And the Cool Ship is, I don't know, maybe a 30 by 20, 2-foot deep copper pool.
Every beer OEC brews?
Every beer goes
even the Dapple and the Hidalgo and all everything.
Everything, because we don't use a whirlpool, we don't use anything like that. So it goes to the Cool Ship, and at that point, you can dry hop, you can add spices, but really, what's happening in that Cool Ship is, besides the dry hopping and spice additions, it's cooling the beer. It's heat transfer, right? You're cooling down the beer. And
by maximizing the surface.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll do that for an hour or so. Hold on one second. I'm getting dry mouth.
There you go.
And
that is a.
And then cheers to you.
Cheers.
And then every beer is then transferred down our Beaudelet cooler. And you're like, what is a Beaudelet cooler? And it basically hangs on the wall, and it's completely made of copper, maybe 3 foot wide, and it's a beer waterfall with copper tubing all the way down it that has cold liquid flowing through it. And so every beer falls down this Beaudelet cooler, which essentially was developed by Dolan in Belgium, and then that beer then falls through gravity into our open fermenters. So every beer we brew at OEC, no matter what the style, is cool shipped, sent down the Beaudelet cooler, and then open fermented, which
that's very cool.
Is ridiculous. It's too much work to do with every beer, but we believe it adds to the taste and the aroma, and that's kind of what we're going for. Not trying to rush any beer. This beer in particular, we did all those things with, and then we lagered it for 2.5 months. And it's we're not looking to rush these beers out the door, right? It's you especially our clean pilsners and lagers. We take the time to let them sit for months. And OEC did that and a lot of German styles and a lot of lagers and pilsners pretty consistently for the last 6 or 7 years, and then 3 years ago we started dabbling into English ales, and because our import business showed a push towards Asian culinary journeys, and Ben is first generation German American, and his wife Jai is first generation Chinese American.
Nice.
We've now started to brew an OEC family line of German styles with Asian ingredient influence, like yuzu pilsner, oolong tea Kolsch with mandarin.
I've had the yuzu pilsner. Brandon brought me one once.
The emerald dragon with lemongrass.
It's actually very, very, very good.
Yeah. And the IPA Baihu with jasmine, and
ooh, I haven't had that.
Yeah, what that was solely because of during the pandemic, we couldn't get beers from China and Japan like we used to, and we started brewing them ourselves. And
Vanessa just said ooh to that too.
Yeah.
And by the way, going back, she said a radiator. Nice. That's
it's kind of a reverse radiator.
It is, but it looks like one. And if you go to
it would look like one. Yeah.
If you go to the Be United website, you can see it for sure.
And if you go to OEC as you walk in, the cool ship's right on your left as you walk in.
Yeah, it is.
Store it right next to the entrance.
Yeah, it's right there. They're not, and the brew house is right there as well. We're not hiding anything.
If you sit in the back room, there's a window. You can look right into the brew house from that window.
Yeah, and it's pretty small, and it's tough to keep up. Our brew house, we had a part issue in our brew house earlier this summer, and our brew house was down for a month.
Oh wow!
And for a small brewery, that crippled us. We went out of stock on a lot of things, but we're almost back up. We're just starting to produce our English ales.
That's so criminal. The police are coming.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I have to put this one comment from Vanessa up right now. Hold on. She said, "We used a recipe from my coworker in Alaska to make moose jerky with a Japanese-inspired recipe."
That I would want to try.
Yeah. By the way, about 4 messages ago, she said, "My fingers are dry from typing."
just soak them in a beer, just like Madge. Remember what was that pledge?
It was Madge from Palmolive.
Palmolive.
That was this one actually. She said, "We made over 200 pounds of that jerky and carried it with us everywhere for 2 years. Every year for 2 years."
I can imagine a moose.
We go pretty deep.
The moose, did you hit it with a car?
Yeah, really.
We go deep on Japanese beer and food here as well. So I do know some people who've aged pork belly in 5-year-old Japanese beer that we thought was expired, but turned out to be like a really good yakitori stick or a really good skewer. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Very cool.
Yeah, and once people think beers are too old, we definitely experiment a lot up at OEC. So if the beer doesn't taste good anymore, we might make vinegar out of it, or we might steep coffee beans or fruit in it and then make bread, or who knows, right? Yeah. So
I definitely
we're always experimenting.
I try to drink most of the beer I get, but as you can imagine, I have way too much beer. But I drink the stuff that I want to, and the other stuff that I have, I'll get to it or whatever. I'll share it, whatever. But for the most part, I do try to drink all of it. But and despite certain people's beliefs, IPAs don't last. I drink them, but it's a lager.
He's not talking about
he's not talking about him. I'm talking about somebody else who shall remain Gene.
He will always be Gene.
He'll always be Gene. But on that note, lagers. Okay, I can sit on this one a while. I'll get to that. But the older they get, I'm like, you know what? It's past its prime. Let me cook with it. I'll drink a little of it while I'm cooking with it. I'm not going to cook with a whole 16-ounce can of beer. Well, depending on what I'm making, right? But I have put a whole 16-ounce can of beer in chili, but I'm talking a big pot of chili.
I like them young. Some can develop into something bad.
He's talking about beer. He's talking about beer, people.
Yeah. and then they can come back a little bit, but for the most part,
Yeah, I
These
mean,
beers should be consumed quickly.
It
right?
depends on the lager too, or we're talking about too.
Yeah.
We're not talking about something that, you know, yes, it can sit. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I've had a lager that probably shouldn't have lasted a while. I've had like a 2-year-old lager, and it was pretty damn good. Wasn't what it was when it was fresh, no,
No,
but it was pretty good for a 2-year-old lager. It was damn good, you know. But it depends on a lot of things. It depends on ingredients. It depends on brewing quality, brewing practices, canning. It depends on a lot of stuff. So
and how
you get lucky every now and then, and how it's cared for. Right.
If you have one in a fridge and it's cold and dark, you can get some time out of it. But if it's hot in the sun,
right. Well, I always tell well, any beer hot in the sun for more than 5 minutes, throw it away. But I always tell everybody the one thing, and this is the truth, and this is not by any means.
They can't get them to shut up.
This is by no means giving clout to what Gene says, but this is going back years, 8 years, maybe 7, 6, 7, 8 years. One Christmas, I'm digging in the back of the beer fridge, right? So I've had so many Christmas ales and everything else. I'm like, I just want one IPA or something. What do I have? And I went to the back of the beer fridge, and now it's the end of December. I pulled out a hazy New England IPA that I got from LIC Beer Project in March. The day it was released, I was there for the release of it, right? So now that's what, 9 months, right? I'm like, this can't be good. I opened it up, I poured it, and it's been sitting in the fridge since I brought it home, put it in the fridge. I opened it up, poured it out. It looked fantastic, and it tasted fantastic. Not any bit of DO, no cardboard, no nothing. It was as if it was fresh that day. That's how well that beer was brewed, how well that beer was canned, and it sat in my fridge the entire time. Now, that's not the norm with IPAs.
No,
but on that one, it worked for whatever reason. So.
I was a huge fan for many years. I haven't been there in a while, but back in their early inception, that I would drive to the
they're gone now. They're close.
The nowhere reaches of their tasting room, and really, they were making some great beers. I thought for a while.
They closed about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah, they had some great live music. It was just
it was a cool space. It's really nice. Yeah.
One thing that clicked for me in this conversation, because I've been to OEC a few times. There's one thing that always struck me about being in the tap room, and now knowing that they are very tied to Be United, explains the line of beers that you can buy there.
Yeah.
You know, it's because I always wondered, it's like, wow, they've got this partnership with all these breweries from Germany and Belgium and Japan, even, because there's Hitachino Nest that you can get there as well.
Yeah.
And now knowing the Be United catalog and knowing that OEC is tied to them, this now makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it's the one place, really, the one place in the States where you can literally buy everything from OEC or Be United's catalog.
Yeah, it's very cool.
If you were planning a visit, they'll put a gift box for you together. But it's also a place that you can purchase kegs of our imported beer and or OEC beer.
That's a dangerous thing to know.
You can also, eat some of the bread that we make there, or the salumi we make there, or have the coffee that we make there, or you can have a pizza from New Haven that we par bake there, or a food truck, right? So it's such a good experience. There's 10 miles of hiking trails. It's
you know what?
You got that stream right behind the brewery.
Yeah. I take my dog up there once a month, and it's a
very dog friendly brewery.
It's very magical place.
I have to get up there. I definitely have to get up.
I'll take you up there. We'll arrange a trip so you can see like everything we do. It's
so cool up there.
It's and why we import the beers we do and why we make the beers we make is all part of this singular kind of philosophy. And when you see it take place with the way we grow fruit or herbs or make vinegar or create beers or experiment, we're always making beer experiments with producers we work with, inviting them to come to Connecticut and do a collaboration, and sometimes it works, sometimes it blows up, sometimes it turns into vinegar. You never know.
Right. Exactly.
But it's fun. It's a great visit, and our barrel room is amazing, and the stuff we're sitting on, and the old, if you're into old vintage beer, which I know you're kind of into,
We've had the combo, so
yeah, we can, you can drink a Russian Imperial Stout from 1983, how that beer is held up is questionable, but it's an experience nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
we'll definitely make that happen.
There's a lot of fun things to do up there. Highly
I need to get back up there.
Closed on Mondays, but we still do tours if people want to do something, and I'm always willing to put people in my car and take you up there. So
now, I do want to mention something real quick for those people who have seen Beer Fest. When you drink out of a boot, you don't drink with the toe up and then turn. Just keep the damn thing sideways the whole time, and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
That's all. That was just drama. That's just drama for the movie.
By the way, this is the beer he's drinking. I didn't put the crawl up before.
Yes.
Either, so.
This
went
is
to the Dunkel. Nice.
Yes, and of course with Iyengar, there's only one place to go after the Dunkel, so that's where I'll be going, and I'm sure you can guess what it is.
Yeah.
Which means I'll sleep well tonight.
There you go.
But no, drink it sideways. That's all you got to do. You don't have to worry about the bubble. There's no bubble if you drink it sideways.
There you go.
Anyway,
I needed to put up another one of Vanessa's comments, and I have to tell you, before I put this comment up, I want to preface this comment by saying she looks fantastic for her age. Fantastic for her age. Because she said she harvested her first moose in 1884.
Wonderful.
And John saying this, never have actually haven't seen Vanessa.
I know. Right. But Vanessa, I kid. We know it's 1984. But, just 30 miles south of the Arctic Circle.
It's those dry fingers of hers.
It's the dry fingers, exactly, right.
I don't know if I answered all your questions regarding OEC, but
it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
We're definitely going to make that OEC trip happen. I got to get back up there. He's got to get back up there. I got to take Jess up there. She's definitely
got to get back up there. Carrie keeps asking me, like, when are we going back to OEC? Because she loved it up there. Loved the beers. We like sitting. It's fun sitting in the tap room itself, but it gets a little crowded there, so I like sitting in back sometimes. And there's always funky music playing there too.
Yeah, Tony, who runs the tap room, is really into some heavy metal. So Tony's playing a lot of crazy stuff sometimes. You're gonna
have your Shazam open a lot.
Yeah.
You said oops, 1984. Yeah.
Okay.
And we just put in an old school shuffleboard, like one of the 30-foot long ones.
With like the cornmeal on it.
Yeah. Well,
I know it's not cornmeal, but yeah.
Like I know there's one at Murphy's in Rumson, like an old school wooden shuffleboard.
Yep.
And then I think we have one of our head brewer made like a Nintendo game system. So now you can sit back there and just play Nintendo games.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
That's great. That's great.
And there's lots of clubs and events, food trucks, book club, this club, that club, an antique auction. There's all sorts of stuff going on up there.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Brian just put this up. Just a quick check in and out. And Tommy's having a spot in Oktoberfest. I will be off before you announce it. So I had to throw it up there really quick. So
it's what the best part about that is, you look at like all the German beers out there, and there's some of those German beers that have become very, very available. We're used to them, and people will look down their nose on the fact that they're still available, that you see them all the time. Spaten is one of those. But I gotta say something. Spaten Oktoberfest, their Märzen is still, I think, one of the best Märzens out there. I just absolutely love that beer.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a while.
Spaten's Märzen, you're drinking. Iyengar's Märzen's fantastic too.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to love the Hockershore.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Paulaner, for me, Märzen-wise, Paulaner, Spaten, and Iyengar are probably my top 3 Märzens.
I cannot disagree with that whatsoever. Actually, the Märzen from Hockershore is my favorite Hockershore.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Easily. And same thing with Spaten as well. That's my favorite Spaten is the Märzen.
Optimator's good.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Never mind.
And yeah,
I'm sorry. Optimator might be my favorite.
but Optimator's going away. At least here. I don't know. Well, when I say here, I mean New Jersey. Okay. Now I don't know that Spaten is taking Optimator away. I don't know if Spaten is stopping exporting Optimator. I don't know if my specific Spaten distributor is just not bringing it in anymore. It could be one of those three.
Or maybe your Spaten distributor just doesn't like you.
No. My Spaten distributor doesn't like anybody, but we'll leave it alone.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm not getting into that right now.
We are getting reports across Germany that drinking is down like 15%, which is
in Germany.
In
Germany.
But
I mean that's.
So
it's down to 85%. Right?
Yeah. But a lot of breweries, you'll see larger breweries, even smaller ones, are going for an alcohol-free, or they're creating a Radler now, and
I mean, Bitburger has a Radler.
Yeah, and it's part of this newer culture of maybe not consuming alcohol and seeing if they can compete. But every day we watch breweries collapsing because they're not pivoting.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, there's I could rattle off probably about over a half a dozen German Radler off. Yeah. German breweries that are doing non-alcs.
Yeah.
So.
Schlenker did one. We never brought it in, but it's a
smoked non-alc.
It's 0.9%, and it's amazing.
Does that classify? Is it under 1 or is it at that point?
It's under 1. It's a smoked Helles, and it was absolutely amazing. But we've been debating back and forth on if we wanted to bring it in, and we're maybe going to consider a low alcohol beer. It's tough to decide because you don't want to. Well, we don't want to damage the brand by bringing in something that may be off brand, but I think low alcohol would be on brand. So we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you, I got to be honest with you. I'm not particularly to this point. I have seen an uptick in craft beer drinkers looking for non-alcs, and that has been what has expanded beyond O'Doul's, right?
Yeah, sure.
And there I can't tell you how many non-alcs are available. I mean, Athletic, right? Athletic is probably Athletic is listed as one of the biggest craft breweries. And they're non-alcoholic, right? So,
I had a 19-ounce can today, and I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, and they're making a fantastic Oktoberfest, a Märzen they're making.
Yeah,
and it's a non-alc, and I don't know if it's the direction. I can't tell you, right? But I will say that there is a very large amount of non-alcs available out there for the craft or import-centric minded.
And to that point, if you're worrying about brand image, Guinness's 0.0 has done nothing to tarnish their brand.
No,
it sells well, and it's a beautiful beer.
And I'll be honest with you, have you had one, Mike? Have you had it?
Oh yeah, I've had plenty. Yeah, I love them.
Tell me the difference.
Yeah,
there is.
No. If you drink it next to each other, you can tell. But if you just
you know how much Guinness I drink, I can.
No,
I'm one of those that can.
Well, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying. But for all intents and purposes, the average drinker, unless you have them side by side, you're not gonna. The average drinker, you could order a Guinness, give them a Guinness Zero, and they're not gonna know they're drinking a Guinness Zero.
No,
I've done it. That's why I know this.
Are you getting into your next alcoholic beer though?
I am pouring it right now.
I will as well.
There you go.
Have I caught up? I've caught up to you guys.
You've caught up? There you go.
This is Hofstetten 1810.
Hofstetten 1810.
Okay.
God bless you. What? Hofstettener.
Hofstettener.
Hochzeitsfeier.
This is the can right here.
Very nice.
Is that Mike? Is that you or is that Dave?
No, that's Mike still. I love the graphic on that.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool can. Very nice. Very cool
can. Hochzeit Oktoberfest 1810.
Why 1810?
It was the original wedding beer brewed for
the wedding,
Ludwig and his wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hence Oktoberfest.
Yeah, and when we've been working with Hofstetten for many years, and what we tried to do with this beer was go back to a time when Oktoberfest beers were darker. They had more alcohol. It wasn't a Germanized, modern, light, crushable, lighter lager, lower alcohol. It was, as you can see, darker in color, a bit more alcohol.
That's pretty.
That is very pretty.
And a bit more malt, right?
It's a little darker than a Meritzen. Usually.
Yeah, it's not the dumbed down version of a Oktoberfest beer that you'll find in a tent.
I think I upset a brewer over the weekend because I went to a brewery. I won't say which one. Asked for their Meritzen. They poured me that. I'm like, that's the Meritzen? They're like, yeah. I'm like, that's a little darker than I'm used to for a Meritzen. Anyways, that's the perfect color for a Meritzen. And still off. Went, okay, but you're wrong. It's not. A Meritzen has got a nice caramel color to it. But not a dark caramel like that beer is that you have in your hand. That's a, and you know what? It was actually darker than that. And he said that was.
Yeah, I was going to say this is in line. This is
a little on the high end of a Meritzen.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's definitely higher on the SRM scale than that even.
And it's a very small town. It's actually the oldest brewery in Austria since I think 1200. But this,
really?
This version of the brewery goes back, to the 1700s. And I guess in the 80s, Peter Kramer family took over this brewery, and they came to New York. Peter and his daughter Jana, who are running this brewery, they're very famous for making a granite bock, which was kind of their most famous beer, where you brew this bock and then you drop a hot rock into it.
Oh, it's a hot stone.
Yeah.
Beer. Oh, I love that.
You convert the malt sugars into like a burned, smoky, granity thing. Legendary beer. And then
yes, it is.
They were pretty famous for a Kubel beer. And then this Hofstetten beer, the 1810 Hochzeit, is the one beer that they still produce from the brewing system from 1929. So they have a modern brew house where they brew other beers. This beer, they only use the older brew house. And Peter, when he was in New York, told us about it and said, we like to use the older brew house because it has problems and it leaks a little bit and it's not perfect. And because some of the air gets into the beer, you get a little oxidation, and we want that oxidation in this beer, just a slight bit to develop flavor. And it sometimes can be inconsistent. And I think they upped the hops last year, and it seems to preserve the beer a little bit. I think it tastes great.
It tastes fantastic. So good. I mean. But here's the thing about it too, right? It's not just a sweet caramel bomb like you get in a lot of Meritzens and a lot of wannabe Meritzens now, right? The hops are shining through too. You get those noble notes, and it's got that strong malt backbone, but you still have those noble hops.
And I think it finishes very dry, right?
And it finishes dry. Well, I mean, from the hop presence, it dries that caramel malt out.
And this is a beer that we, right now at this point, we bring a very limited amount over, probably only half a container. So we times maybe we'll only have 50 or 60 kegs and maybe 50 cases for the country. Because
and John, you're saving me one, right?
yeah, and
I got also, 2 cases, so
we think that this beer, I think personally, you don't want to drink this. I mean, you could, and it'll taste great 3 months from now, but if you drink it under 3 months from now, it's really going to shine. And so that's why we bring a limited amount. We don't want to sit on stock, right?
No, right.
And
that's caring about quality.
Sure. Yeah, and it's fantastic, and it really, I mean, talk about a family brewery. Like it's Peter, Yana, her brother, a dog, and their mother. And
in that order?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
And the dog pitches
but it's
that's the dog's job.
And runs the mill too.
Yeah, and it's just
they put him on a treadmill and that grinds all the.
It's kind of this gorgeous town about an hour south of Salzburg, where most people are just thinking about cheese. So it's.
See, now I've got friends in Austria, and I love the Austrians. People always ask me, like, well, what's the difference between Austrians and Germans? Like, they're exactly the same, except Austrians are fun.
Hey.
Yeah, I said what I said.
But it's definitely the oldest brewery in Austria, and some claim
I'm not fun. Damn it!
It might be the oldest active brew house in Europe, but we're unsure.
Well, you mean other than Weihenstephaner?
Well, I'm not one to like check facts right now, but there's arguments.
There's
arguments.
By the way, Vanessa said, weight of a keg, I'm thinking a whole bag here in my recumbent trach, she said.
There you go. So I did up the SRMs because let's face it, black is beautiful. And I'm sticking with the Eyinger, but this time I went with.
Oh, wonderful!
So
did it have the little goat on?
I was just to say I was disappointed they stopped putting the goats on.
I've seen them, but they must be older ones.
I had one hanging from my microphone. I don't know.
I think that the goats might get knocked off a lot in transit.
That probably happens.
It's because there's still some they could be an older batch at my local beer store here with goats on.
I used to have about 15 of them. And I was down to one, and apparently I'm down to nothing. I got to go back to where I got this and see if the lady that runs the place is hoarding the goats. Not hurting the goats, hoarding.
Not hurting the goats, no.
The cool thing about this beer too, that is, it's kind of exciting, and it ties in Be United. As we import beers, we have relationships with brewers, and we bounce ideas off one another. We create beers. We think about beers for the U.S. market that don't exist in Europe. And the idea for this beer was between Peter Kramer and Matthias Neidhart, and they literally wanted to create a beer that existed hundreds of years ago that isn't in the current market. And we played with the recipe for years until we get it right. And we do that with a lot of breweries. We do a lot of research where it'll take a year or so to think about a recipe, think about not necessarily what will work in the U.S. market, because we don't follow trends, but we try to think about creating something that people don't even know they want yet, right? Mm-hmm. Creating something that doesn't exist and hoping that people want that experience, right? So we're creating towards a unidentified experience a lot of the times, not to say, hey, everybody's, into this beer, let's make more of that and follow a trend. So a lot of times we're taking a gamble and a risk, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
True.
I find this fascinating because I know that, in the U.S., a lot of the U.S. craft beer distributors will do, occasionally collabs with their breweries. You don't see, I've never heard of U.S. distributors working hand in hand with European breweries to actually come up with beers, and not just for the U.S. market, but this is also being sold in Europe as well, correct?
This beer is, but I will say in some other markets where we've created things, like in Japan or in Germany, they're not sold locally, or in Italy, they're U.S. market only.
Now, okay, so I know Hitachino Nest is in your portfolio.
I was going to say,
have you created beers in that with Hitachino Nest?
Yeah, we have several.
Is Milk Stout one of the ones that was created for the U.S. market?
I don't know. That was before my time.
I was going to say that was he had said you and I together have had that beer since before he was working for Be United. So
yeah,
this is true. That's been around for a long time.
We've been with Toshiyuki Kyuchi since about '96.
Mm-hmm.
That was impressive.
Yes, do that one more time.
Toshiyuki
Kyuchi, great guy, innovative.
Okay, now let's test him here. Now here's a big test for you. What does OEC stand for?
Okay, so yeah, it's crazy.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Wait for it. Wait. Let's see if you can do it without looking at the camera.
I'm looking at it. He's saying it. I'm not saying.
It's essentially pig Latin. It's Ben's.
Yeah.
Ben is a big Monty Python fan, and like a Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Gotta love it.
It's a spoof on Order of Eccentric Boilers, and it's like Orderum Eccentra Coctores, but
that's exactly
eccentricity.
Yeah, it literally is the Order of Eccentric Boilers.
Ordinem Eccentrici Coctores.
And it's
and now you got to smack yourself in the head with a goodbye there.
Yeah, Ben's.
I got to do the silly walk. Hold on,
he was kind of into fantasy and knights and dragons and stuff. And
it sounds like him and I would get along very well. Yeah. I was a dungeon master.
Well, we have a Dungeons and Dragons night up at OEC.
If I live close,
we have a horror movie night. We have an occult book club night up there. I mean, they do a lot.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Chloe.
That does not surprise me. The amount of patchouli that I've smelled amongst the customers in that brewery in a cult book night does not surprise me.
Yeah, Tony's.
That's usually why I like to sit in the back, because usually the patchouli's in the tap room.
Tony's wife, Chloe. Tony has been working the tasting room the whole time they've been open. His wife, Chloe, has been around half that time, and she is driving those events and having like more food trucks, more on-site antique sales, food sales that we've had. We're trying to get back to something I never experienced, but maybe 10 years ago, OEC would open their doors and all of our suppliers would come, and we'd invite all of our wholesalers, and we would have these just massive kind of interactions where people would engage with different brewers, and different brewers would interact with one another and create products. Mm-hmm. And some of Kyuchi products were developed because people from Kyuchi and people from BFM had drinks one night and created something, so we've had a lot of cross-pollination from Italy and Europe and the US and Japan. And
but that's what craft beer is.
It is what craft beer is all about.
And then
I will not say anything about my experience playing Dungeons and Dragons or being a dungeon master. I'm not saying anything.
You just said it.
I will not say anything about it.
Then I won't say anything about the fact that when I worked in bookstores, that I ran the fantasy sci-fi sections and the occult sections, and I was allowed to order with the distributors for. I
gotta be honest with you. I
won't mention that either.
And do you remember Ghostbusters 2? Right. When
I do.
Ray Stantz had the occult bookstore.
He had it in. He had it in later on.
He had it in Afterlife, right? But he had it in Ghostbusters 2, right?
Yep.
And so I was like, I always wanted to go to that bookstore. Yeah.
And
not just that bookstore, the one that Dan Aykroyd was running.
You can go to Asbury Park and go to.
I know this one there.
Or you can go to Providence, Rhode Island, and go to the occult bookstore with a H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, you're right.
Where are you guys actually sitting right now?
I am sitting in Union City, New Jersey.
Union City, that's right.
I am
The textile capital of the world, right?
It was at one point.
Yeah, but that's what you see when you try to
cross that bridge.
When you enter the Lincoln Tunnel, you see that every time.
They've taken that down. That's not even up anymore.
That's sad.
But right above that bridge, there is a sewing machine statue in honor of the fact that they used to be the textile capital.
John, where are you?
I am sitting in Belmar, New Jersey.
Oh, you live in Belmar. I thought that's where I knew you lived.
Yeah.
Wow, many a fun time there.
The summer night capital of New Jersey.
No, I love it.
The bar fight capital of New Jersey.
I don't involve myself in this.
That's just bar A.
Bar A is like 2.5 blocks right that way.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I pick my beer up off the bar and go sit over there.
And you just walk away.
No, I watch. I go walk away and then I watch.
Yeah. Well, the problem is.
And Vanessa is in. Hold on. Come on.
Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Yeah, she's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. There you go.
Yes, there she is. The problem is it depends upon the timing, but it's either one of two things going on. You either have rival softball teams that are at the end of the game have showed up at bar anticipation and are drinking, and there was a little bad blood during the game, or it's just the usual night down the Jersey Shore.
I got to be honest with you now. Obviously, bar anticipation. When you think bar anticipation or bar A, if you will, you think kids and you think beat the clock night on Tuesdays, and you think all of this stuff, right? But the best part about bar A is that there's so many different nights. There's so many different crowds, even. Friday afternoons, older crowd. During the week, Sundays for football. Dave, you've been there with me. Sundays for football. Every game is on, and there's different parts of the bar, outside and inside, that have different. There's the Steelers area of the bar. There's the Giants and Jets and are in the front, Eagles in the middle, and Steelers in the back, and Cowboys in the back. Blah, blah, it's crazy. But the best part was, and I've told the story a couple of times. This past April, a buddy of mine that I went to high school with, he has a yacht rock band. They're a fantastic yacht rock band. They're even better than some of these, bigger named yacht rock bands that are playing out. They're fantastic, these guys. But anyway, they were playing a Friday night happy hour in April, right, at Bar A inside. And they started at 6. All right. So we all go up, and there's, look at us. There's it's all people our age in there watching the band, right? So 8 o'clock, they're in the middle of their second set, and they're still playing, right? And there's all of us in there dancing, singing along, listening, and just look at the color of the hair that's on my face, right? So that's the overwhelming color in there at the moment, right? All of a sudden, the front door opens, and we just happen to look over, and about 8 20-somethings, young 20-somethings walk in, and they walk in about 10 feet, and they look around, they go. Those of you listening to the audio podcast, I'm making a frowning face. They're like, what the hell's going on in here? What the hell's going on with our bar? And they were there for about maybe a minute and a half. They turned around and walked out. It was great.
Yeah, it gets that way. It changes.
It does. But I will be honest with you. The band was done about 45 minutes later. I guarantee you about an hour after that, the median age was 24 again. So,
well, because everyone had, it was past their bedtime.
Pretty much. I was home. Yeah. I wasn't sleeping, but I was home by then. Yeah. Anyway, and I'll just throw one more Vanessa Kitty comment. Her dad was a Steelers fan. There you go.
I was a Steelers fan until the Bradshaw team pretty much all retired at the same time. I almost said Starbuck. The Bradshaw team. I almost said Stallworth.
Hey.
But the Bradshaw team almost retired. They pretty much retired all.
82, 83, they were done.
Yeah, except for Stallworth. He lasted for a little bit longer.
Year or two.
And I didn't recognize the team anymore. So that's when to my chagrin, became a Giants fan.
Oh, it was not your chagrin.
No, because the very first year that I was rooting for the Giants was the year of the fumble.
I was at that game.
I know you've said it. At any rate, back to Be United.
Right. I started as a Steelers fan. My very first year, I got Sports Illustrated for Christmas. I think it was Willie Stargell and Terry Bradshaw on the cover. I think it was 78 or 80.
Oh my God, that's great. Willie Stargell and Terry. I actually remember that cover.
And for 1 year, because I didn't understand local rules, I was a Steelers fan, and then probably like 1982, I started on with the G-Man, and
that's about probably
a tough run.
I think I turned a little before. No, that's about when I turned too. Yeah.
And
it was tough at first, but it paid off in the end.
It did, right?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Are either of you guys baseball fans?
Yeah, we are.
We're both Mets fans.
Okay, both Mets.
Both Mets fans.
All right.
You're a Yankees fan?
I am, yeah, diehard.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty damn close.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm not a Yankees hater as a lot of Mets fans are.
No, neither.
I caught a Reggie Jackson foul ball during batting practice at a Yankees Royals game in May.
With his face.
He caught it with his, not my hand.
Explains.
In May of '78.
Wow.
Yeah, that was.
I was very close to being a Mets fan. I went to a Mets game in '76 at Shea, and for 1 year I was a Lee Mazzilli fan.
Well, who wouldn't be?
How could you not be?
And then the next year, I became a Thurman Munson fan, and then I was hooked on the Yanks.
Who couldn't be a Thurman Munson fan?
Yeah,
and then 2 World Series in a row, 77 and 78. Like I said, May of '78, in the middle of 2 World Series, I caught that. You would think that would make me a Yankee fan. Nope.
No. Yeah. My oldest son, I managed to get him to a game the last year of Shea, and took him to a game the first year of City.
Wow.
So if it ever gets to the point where it's cool to be a Mets fan again, he's got bragging rights.
Yeah. I always thought Shea Stadium was beautiful.
I love Shea Stadium, but I love City. City is just,
I love Shea Stadium because even though it was a dump, it was our dump.
It was
our dump. All right. But City Field is by far one of the best stadiums in MLB. And I will tell you what's a close second for me is PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
It's true.
PNC Park in Pittsburgh is amazing. And on that note, I'll just tell you, yes,
because of our Park, even though we got distracted. I went to see the Mets play the Pirates. Our pitching was so damn bad that the stadium ran out of fireworks for the home runs. I'm not kidding. I'm not making it up. They actually ran out.
I've been to a bad Mets Pirates game as well. But at best because of our age, and yes, I am a Giants fan, but I have a soft spot for the Steelers, and yes, I've been out to Heinz Field, and that's me wearing my James Harrison jersey out in Heinz Field. So
nice.
But one of my favorite spots that's not too far from where Johnny was there is the Mr. Rogers Memorial.
Never been. I haven't been to Pittsburgh.
Oh, that is all you got to do is just walk up the river a little bit, and as you walk through this like big arch, and as you walk through the arch, they're playing "Won't You Be My Neighbor," and and then there's the statue of of Mr. Rogers right there, and it's and for someone my age, it becomes a little emotional.
Sure, yeah, I haven't been in like 15 years. I need to get back there.
Oh, you need to get back out there, and actually, that's to date, and I've been to a bunch of them. That's other than the one in Munich. Other than the one in Munich, that was my favorite Hofbrau house.
Okay. Yes, the Hofbrau house in on the south side of Pittsburgh is amazing.
It's a lot of fun.
Really good. It's really good.
And if you go there when they're rolling out the their new keg for the month, and they're doing their whole thing, they have the band. And even though I've been to other Hofbrau houses that have tried this, other than Munich, let's just face it, Munich's the Hofbrau house, but all the other ones, the whole crowd gets into the ziggies on.
Nice.
They do.
It's amazing.
There you go. I have to put up Vanessa's last comment. She said she was living across the street in Arlington, Texas, as they dug the foundation for the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. But as the three of us all know, who won the first game in that stadium?
Giants.
That would be the New York Football Giants.
And And you know why they call them the New York Football Giants? Because at a time
They were the New York Baseball
there was the New York
Giants.
Baseball Giants playing in. Was it the same field?
Yeah.
Even?
The Polo Grounds.
Yeah,
They
the
played the
same
Polo
field.
Grounds.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Anyway.
But anyway, so yeah, that's our sports segment for the.
And I told John I didn't want to talk about sports.
I didn't start it. Hey.
No.
Anyway.
No. But no, yes, you did. Vanessa Kitty started it. You posted.
And the Yankees are down 2-1, so we'll see.
Not gonna cry.
No.
Yeah. I will tell this story really quick, just to Mike really quick. I did not as the.
No, you're telling it to everybody.
As the huge, obviously.
So you're telling it to everybody.
Right. As a huge Mets fan, I am. I did not watch Game 7 of the 1986 World Series.
Okay.
I listened to it because I was sitting at the Giants-Redskins Monday Night Football game at Giant Stadium.
Giants were playing the Redskins
on Monday night during
the
Game 7 of the World Series. We already knew it because obviously we were celebrating because we listened to it, and a lot of other people in the stands were too. We listened to the game, so we knew. I didn't see Jesse Orozco throw his mitt up in the air when they won.
But it did hit John in the head.
It hit me in the head all the way from Shea Stadium, but in East Rutherford. But but they actually stopped play on the field when the Mets won the World Series to announce the Mets were the world champs, and everybody in the stadium. Because back then there wasn't a lot of traveling, right? Not like now, half the stadium is the other team's fans, right?
Yeah.
Back then it was all Giants fans, but it was either Yankees fans or Mets fans. So the Mets fans were happy because the Mets won the World Series, and the Yankees fans were happy because the Red Sox didn't win the World Series.
Yeah,
of course.
I as a Yankee fan, I remember cutting school the day of the 86 parade because I'd never been to a ticker tape parade. So my buddy and I from Freehold took the Staten Island ferry over to downtown and got there early. And I remember I high-fived Gary Carter in the back of a Mercedes.
That's awesome.
Because
the kid,
there was no security, right? The guy, it was the 80s, right? You could do that.
That's fantastic. I wish I went. I wish I went over.
And the thing is, if there was security, it was to protect the fans from the Mets.
Yeah. And I'll never forget.
That team was.
Not only was I not at that ticker tape parade, but neither was Doc Gooden.
Yeah. Neither was Ron Darling because they couldn't find him for weeks after the stuff.
I'll never forget. I went, and I was 86. I was 17, and I went for a high five with Gary Carter, and he was in the back of a Mercedes convertible, a 450 SEL or something, and I missed his hand, and his forearm hit me, and it was like his leg hit me because it was the biggest arm that ever. It almost broke my arm. His arms were so massive.
Yeah, because his arm was.
And I was a catcher as a young man, and he was he was always a mentor for sure. Great player.
And I love the fact that he went to the Hall of Fame as a Met and not an Expo.
Vanessa's really active, huh?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
she says she moved into her apartment next to Yankee Stadium in October '87, and it pisses me off. $400 a month rent control.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I was paying more in rent in New Jersey than that back then.
The South Bronx.
Yeah, that's about right.
Anyway,
so what's next?
So, all right. So I want to get back to Be United just for a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
And then we'll move on from there. Talk about the different. I mean, you can get into some breweries if you want, but talk about different countries' beers that Be United brings into the country.
Yeah, so originally
we've talked about a bunch of them already. Yeah.
Originally, the reason why Be United was formed really was based on the classic beers that Michael Jackson reviewed in his book, right? So originally, Matthias sought out those beers. So it was special beers from Germany, from England, from Switzerland, from Belgium, from Sweden, from Finland, right? He was always trying to search for these obscure kind of flavors and styles that were part of this idea of classic beer, right? Mm-hmm. And for a very long time, whatever we brought over, sold because people are just like, yes, give me, I want it all. Yes, you have a porter from Scandinavia. You have a barley wine from London. Yes, like just keep them coming. A lambic from Belgium, whatever. It was always kind of old classic styles, and then I think it took a turn towards Japan, maybe in like '98, and originally Hitachino Nest was a craft beer. It was a Japanese beer for craft beer nerds, and there was never really a connection that it could be beyond a craft beer. And then organically, something happened that Matthias didn't predict, and that was that not just craft beer bars, but restaurants now wanted Hitachino Nest White Ale because their customers who were having sushi or omakase, which probably they didn't have then, or whatever, they were having a Japanese meal. They wanted something
other than Sapporo and Kirin
and
but also something that they kind of also recognized already.
Yeah, well, because it was a Belgian style made in Japan, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a Belgian wit with coriander and nutmeg and citrus and orange juice, and it was easily drinkable. And so by accident, we discovered that beer and food go together.
Oh, absolutely.
But people knew that, but this is
keep that thought.
This is very early on, and then like wildfire, our portfolio in the last 5 years has chased Italian culinary journeys, Mexican culinary journeys, Asian.
I want to ask you about
journeys.
the Mexican,
and
I really want to ask you about that Mexican.
Yeah,
and because
go ahead.
The craft beer movement, the Mexican craft beer movement, pretty much got stomped on when the big boys came together. And one thing that happens in Mexico is that the liquor licenses are all bought up by the that Grupo Modelo,
mm-hmm.
and what's the one you put the lime into?
Corona.
So that's Modelo. Corona's,
but they're all the same group now. They weren't at the time, okay. But they bought up all those licenses. And if you wanted to open a bar, if you wanted your liquor license, you had to go to them, which means craft beer really could not get a strong foothold in these bars because they had no tap space because they were dominated by the big boys.
And the regulations were what they were because, hey, it's not,
there were no regulations.
The regulations were there because there weren't any, and they could say, hey, you want to buy this liquor license? Fine, you could buy this from us, but you have to pour all our beers.
So you've got Colectivo Axolotl.
Yeah.
And you bring them in here, and they've got a showing here, but do they have any foothold in their own country based on what goes on there and the collusion?
Yeah, so I mean, previously we worked with two Mexican breweries, which one was La Bru, which was in
I remember La Bru.
Yeah,
I've had some of their stuff.
I always mispronounce this, which is Michoacan, I think. Okay. And then we had Mantra de Agua, which was based in Mexico City. And
did not know that.
Both of those breweries, it's interesting. I think they brewed for very hyper local and then little or no distribution otherwise. So unless you were in certain restaurants in Mexico City, which were trying to be cutting edge, or in somewhere else near La Bru, you probably didn't even know these beers existed, right? A lot of these beers don't make it into the grocery stores or to retail markets. Most of the craft beers were either for like local people coming to the brewery or for a restaurant within 5 miles.
And was that because of capacity or because of
no? I don't think they have the footprint, right? Like there's so much other monster competition out there, with
unfair competition.
So much money that you have to convince a restaurant owner, hey, I know you're selling 1,000 beers, a week that cost you $1, but would you want to sell a beer that costs $3 and see if you can sell 50? Because some people might think it's cool with your food, and you have to change a complete mindset, which was the same thing I had to do in the United States. When I walk into a taqueria that in New York that sells a $7 Corona, and I approach them with a beer that costs $3.50, and they need to charge $10. A lot of times, people aren't willing to do that price point if you're comfortable with what you're consuming. Like, for the most part, in my entire life, I've consumed massive macro Mexican beers while eating Mexican food and been totally happy.
Of course.
So,
Negro Modelo is one of my favorites.
Yeah. So what's the motivation for me to step out of that comfort zone and pay a little more, unless you hear the story, right? Or you believe somehow it pairs better with the food you're eating. Or
I think there's a lot of Americans that if they knew that story of how they're kind of, there was this monopoly.
Yeah.
And these were the little guys. I think if they knew that story, they'd be like, I'm going with the little guys because of that whole monopoly deal.
But full transparency, it's been our most difficult portfolio to manage, for various reasons. A lot of people who were more concerned about business than taste and aroma took over. There was suspect quality issues where, a little bit of yeast or a little opening in a can could ruin a pallet of beer, and that could be thousands of dollars and could take months to replace. And so
I remember La Brew had some quality issues.
Yeah. At this point, I think we're ready for a restart in Mexico, but with very limited stock, almost no stock of either of those beers, and especially Matias from Monte de Agua, Matias Veracruz. He is more of a visionary and a scientist and a recipe maker who lives in a commune on the mountains and the foothills of
living the life
of Mexico City. And what he does is use local herbs and fruits to create recipes. So he created a beautiful prickly pear agave water pale ale called Nachtli, which is wonderful.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah.
But a lot of the times when this is for the entire world, when you produce a beer that you originally would produce it locally, you have an idea that you're going to probably sell through that in 2 months, right? That if you make this amount, if you sell it at your bar, you're good. And then 2 months later, it'll be a fresh one and everyone's going to be happy. But when you import that beer to the US and that beer is on a shelf for 6 months, that's when
people
have scientific discoveries happening. And
it's a great way to put that.
And there are times a year later where you're like, what's happening to this beer? And the producer says, well, I don't know. We've never had a year-old version of that beer because we always sell it in 3 weeks.
Right.
And so because of the agave water fermentable sugars and a lot of fruit in that beer and maybe suspect yeast straining. We've had a lot of beer that hasn't been stable because yeast is reactivated by the sugars from the fruits.
So you have ruptures and
we've had beers that have changed. Like some have changed, gone bad, and then gone good. Some have exploded. But when you're in a market that, especially with the American palate, is ready for consistency always at consistency rather than experimental taste and aroma, you can't sell that beer to everybody.
No, you can't. You can't.
Exactly.
You can't.
And it's tough. So that's a big pain point for me because Mexican food is huge everywhere, and we want like great craft Mexican
globally, and
yeah,
specifically within a mile of where I'm sitting right now, there are 6 Mexican restaurants. And I
please.
don't mean
where do I live?
I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
Either of you, that's a given, right? I'm in a suburban town compared to the two of you.
Mike's got 6 Mexican restaurants on his block.
Yeah, and I feel personally that and look, I don't shit on any brewery, but I think Monopolio is doing a great job, and that's a whole story of guys from Chicago taking a Mexican recipe and brewing it in the U.S. and making it work. And we're hoping to do the same. We've brought Matias Veracruz to OEC to brew Mexican beers on U.S. soil where we could have control of it. And we did do a guava.
Are you naming the beer Matias Squared?
What's that?
Are you naming the beer Matias Squared?
No. It's weird that they have the same name.
Couple of Matiases.
But we've tried, and we're going to do that always with producers from Japan and from Italy. We're inviting brewers that we work with to come to the U.S. and create recipes so that we can have one product imported from Italy that's authentic and cost $100 a case, but one product from Italy that's experimental with a Connecticut brewer that maybe costs $58 a case. And we're asking people.
So my Stein just caught up.
Yeah, and we're asking.
I'm surprised.
People,
I'm surprised I made it.
I am too. Go ahead.
We're asking people to take that like cultural leap of faith, right? If you buy a Japanese beer made in Italy or Canada, why wouldn't you buy a Japanese beer made in Connecticut?
Why wouldn't? Yeah, you're right.
So we're doing the same thing with Italy and Mexico, maybe, but it's a struggle, right? We've got a lot of weird business things happening where also Mexico is highly effective, and we're not looking to raise the price of Mexican beer by any amount of money.
No, not at all. Of course not. Of course not.
We're trying to keep it consistent.
There you go. While Dave's in the bathroom, I catch up on a couple of Vanessa comments really quick. She said, based on, to your point, math, she said, there you go. But she said her town is considered rural, where she is in Connecticut. And she said she will buy the version made in Connecticut, she said.
Yeah, wonderful. They're going to be available. I know the Italian versions I just got sample cans of. We're going to release them soon.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
or after the show, one or the other.
Yeah.
But then, but then I just want to go back to this. She said, should I, and she did say tow, but should she tow her smoker down there next year? Yes.
To Connecticut?
No, I'm assuming she meant when we were talking about down here in cooking food. I'm assuming. Well, know what, Vanessa, wherever you tow it to, let me know.
We do have a smoker up at OEC, and if you do go up there, make sure to ask them for. We do like a under the radar smoked peanut, which we smoke with old oak staves.
Oh, nice.
And we smoke peanuts with their skins on. They're beautiful peanuts from Virginia. It's the best little snack when you're up there.
Oh, I love it. All right, definitely. All right, Dave's back from his bio break. I think what we're talking about with food here is a perfect segue.
Yeah, great.
What do you think, Dave? You think it's the perfect segue?
I think it's the perfect segue.
In case you missed that, what did you say, Dave?
I said, I think.
No. You said, I think it's the perfect segue.
Oh, well, yes. Well,
if I let you guys first, can I step up for a second?
Oh, well, why don't you go ahead? Dave and I'll talk because you go first. You go. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm off camera right now?
You're off camera right now.
I'll be right back.
All right, there you go. So, and folks, I will mute him just in case his bathroom is nearby.
Let's read some comments.
I just did them while you were in the bathroom. That's what I did while you were in the bathroom.
All of them?
Not all, most of them.
Well, because I did want to ask Vanessa Kitty, while she's watching the show, is she drinking something, and what is she drinking?
She's to the ones I didn't put up, she said the ones brewed in Oxford. She will buy the Mexican lager brewed in Connecticut. Okay. She said, I sure will ask way beforehand about bringing the smoker down, which you missed.
Yes. And who's going to watch the dog?
I want to try those Japanese beers, and as do I, Vanessa. Vanessa, go ahead, Dave. Ask Vanessa your question. Well,
like I said, if while you're watching, are you drinking beer? What are you drinking while you're watching? That's what we always want to know. Anytime anyone's watching, we want to know what they're drinking. So, but yeah, if you're still want to know who's watching the dog while you're towing the smoker.
Exactly. And for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned, bring the dog along.
Bring the dog. We love dogs.
So
we love dogs, and not just smoked.
Just kidding. All preparations. Just kidding. So he had to go there. So
if you get a chance, definitely get to OEC. Be prepared to walk away with some boxes of stuff. What they have for sale in OEC.
Oh my God! She is drinking a New Holland Dragon's Milk Stout.
That's a beautiful beer.
It's an absolutely beautiful beer.
I absolutely love that beer. It might be my favorite milk stout out there.
Yeah.
Maybe next.
There's only one.
Well, it depends on how sweet.
There's only one milk stout I like better than Dragon's Milk.
Which one?
Triple Dragon's Milk.
There you go.
So you guys like the sweet stout from Hitachino Nest?
I was going to say the thing about the Hitachino stouts, their milk stout is the sweetest milk stout you're going to get out there.
Now, I can't drink more than one of them. But
boil that down and then pour it over vanilla ice cream. Yeah. It really is that sweet.
So I should let you know.
Is that rice sugar they use in that?
What's that?
I think is it rice sugar that they use in
that?
For
sure.
Yeah, I thought so.
And I don't want to divert too much, but they have an espresso stout, which I don't know if you guys have had. It's also pretty sweet. But their newest stout, which was developed 2 years ago, in my opinion, the best stout is called Sakura Stout. And it's a dry stout.
Rose.
It's a 6.5
cherry blossom,
6.5% Sakura cask barrel aged stout. But the base liquid,
wait, so Sakura wood?
Yeah, the base liquid is
that's so cool.
Is an Asahi black recipe because Toshiyuki didn't want to brew a sweet stout, so he brewed a dry stout based on that recipe. He poached a brewer from Asahi, and then aged it on the Sakura whiskey cask barrel.
Oh wow!
So you have a barrel-aged cherry blossom Sakura stout, but it's only 6.5%.
Mike, I'm going to need that.
Yeah, 6.5% alcohol. Yeah. So it's a sessionable barrel-aged Japanese cherry blossom cherry stout.
Amazing! I need that beer.
That is, I need that in my face.
It's the second last newest beer they made, besides another new beer they made, but. We released it during a whiskey ceremony in 2021. We've had kind of limited cases of it. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's fantastic. And you can drink two. You can drink two in a sitting.
I could probably drink 6 of those.
Absolutely. Vanessa just said Sakura Stout. Oh my! Why do I hear George Takei saying "Oh my"? Oh. Okay. And then
I did that too well. That scares me.
And then she said, "Oh, how many can I buy at once?" She said, And I'm getting down there in October. Okay, absolutely.
You got to let us
You
know.
let us know when you're going, and we need to make this happen. So.
Yeah, we'll figure something
Exactly.
out.
All right. So as we were saying before, the bio breaks happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think talking about food and everything else.
I broke the seal for both Mike.
You
and
did.
Yeah,
You
sorry
did.
about that.
I'm good right. I'm good right. But our top 3 list tonight is top 3 favorite Oktoberfest food and German beer pairings. Top 3 favorite Oktoberfest food and German beer pairings. Mike, you're our guest of honor tonight. Please kick us off.
Do you want me to do just one or all 3?
No, all 3.
No,
3,
all
2,
3.
1. Go for it.
All right, all 3. So for sure, and look, I live in the German part of New York. I have for 20 years. Schaller and Weber is my butcher, so I get all my meat there.
Nice.
I've done a lot of beer and meat pairings.
When you say you're German butcher, you didn't say Schaller and Weber before. So I just wanted
sorry.
to
So my number 1 pairing always,
you're going 1, 2, 3. You're going.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. The one that I seem to enjoy the most is going to be a nice wheat beer, and I'll choose the specific wheat beer because I'm doing it. But a Brewery Michael Planck from Lauber, Germany, Hefeweizen, unfiltered, with a Weisswurst. Weisswurst to me is a classic combination, right?
That's beautiful, yeah.
With there's a really great spicy curry ketchup they sell there. It's a German curry ketchup.
Oh, I love that curry. Yes, it's amazing.
If you get a Weisswurst, sometimes without a rolled, or put that curry ketchup on it, it's fantastic. To me, that's my number 1.
I actually made that curry ketchup about 2
And
months.
they Planck Hefeweizen. It's amazing.
I love it. I think my number 2 will always be like either a pork knuckle or a smoked pork chop with Rausch beer. So traditional Märzen with a smoked pork meat, either the pork knuckle or the smoked pork chop they have there, which it's fantastic. You can literally eat it off the bone, but you can also cook it in it. It tastes like as if you baked a ham, but it's a pork chop on the bone. To me, with like red cabbage and potato salad is just perfect.
Kartoffel salad.
Yeah, and then my last.
Hold on. With beer.
Oh, that would be like a extra Lenker Märzen, just straightforward Rausch beer,
okay.
Smoked beer, smoked pork, and then to finish, I'll pull one from my portfolio, but it would be always like a German chocolate cake with a smoked Doppelbock. So like an Ex-Schlenkerla Eich or an aged Eich that's a oak smoked Doppelbock that's 8% and sweet and smoky with a sweet and fruit-based dessert. Yeah, that gets me going.
The German chocolate cake or the
Black Forest? Like a German chocolate cake or Black Forest. No. Like deep chocolate, deep smoke. I don't eat many of these things anymore. I'm trying to stay alive, but when I was younger, I would.
That's always a struggle.
I would always eat these things.
Germans don't do a lot of the milk chocolate; they like the dark chocolate, and I agree with them on that.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, those are things. Those are things I love.
There you go. All right, Samurai, you're up.
My number 3, I kept it very simple for my number 3. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Go for it.
Kept it simple on my number 3. I have a whore for Bavarian pretzels.
I was gonna say that. I love them.
Just absolutely love them. And if I'm gonna have one, just sticking with the theme, I love it with a straight up Märzen.
Yeah.
Any particular one?
Put in the Paul Lanner one, because when I was thinking of the Paul Lanner goes extremely well with the pretzel.
There you go.
My number 2, I really, really, really enjoy schnitzel.
Oh yeah.
A couple days ago, Carrie.
Hold on. Pork or Wiener?
Pork schnitzel.
Or chicken.
Or well, we just call it cut. We just call it cut.
Yeah.
We call them cutlets.
Yeah.
Well, there actually there is a difference between schnitzel.
Well,
and
no,
cutlets.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
The difference is cutlets have they use egg in the dredging. Schnitzel
no egg in the schnitzel. Yeah.
No egg in the schnitzel. So, but with schnitzel, because when you get schnitzel, and if they're doing it right, they're going to bring you out lemon wedges.
Sure.
So if I'm going to do a schnitzel, I want a Berliner Weiss because of that acid.
Nice.
They do it to give that acid to cut into the frying. The problem is we're talking German beers here, and there's a lot more Berliner Weisses brewed in the U.S. right now than there is in Germany.
Yeah, there's some Berliner Weisses.
There are some, but there's not a lot that we're going to get here. Right? Like Kindle and Berlo, we don't really see here. That's like they're two of the biggest producers of Berliner Weisses over in Germany. So I'm going to have to probably stick with just put Berliner Weiss. I'm not going to put a brewery on it, but I want a Berliner Weiss with a schnitzel.
If you're ready and willing, maybe you've had it, maybe you haven't, but a really beautiful Berliner Weiss that we bring in is Professor Fritz Bream, 1809.
Bream,
yeah, I do know
sour
that one.
Berliner Weiss, and
no, but that's what it should be because you want that acidic.
It's kind of it's it's literally the toughest beer to pour on keg, and we will only sell it to people who are responsible and educated to deliver that. But in a bottle, it's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I gotta look for that because I know the Gruit beer. There's another one of his beers. I know I can't think of it right now, but I've heard of the Berliner Weiss. I've not had it.
Yeah,
so
it's beautiful. It's just so bright. It's great. It's a beautiful summer beer too. Like while it's still warm, it's probably a great time to have one.
Okay, can you imagine that though with a schnitzel? It's going to pair perfectly.
And you just have to be so very careful in opening it because the carbonation is so high that they have been explosive.
Is it as bad as the Dolly's import stout?
I've
had those.
That's not the worst Dole, in my opinion. Like for opening,
really?
Like I think the Dolatev gets a bit more exciting.
I don't think I've ever had that, but they did. Yeah. I owe the import stout. I've always opened in the sink.
Yeah, you really got to.
It's very lively beer.
I almost chill a lot of those down more than they need to be, so they can be manageable in the glass
and let them warm up in the glass. Yeah. Usually, what I do is I put it in the sink. I have a glass in one hand and the bottle opener in another hand, and I try to catch as much of the fountain as I can.
Yeah.
It usually works out pretty well. If you're used to it, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you chill it down, if you really put it in the freezer for a little bit, not to the point where it starts getting crystals, you can control it. But my number one, and this is what Mike said that Schweinsschocke, shocks. I'm not saying this right. Schweinsschocke.
Pork knuckle.
That is that pork knuckle.
Yeah.
When a pork knuckle is done right, it is absolutely one of the most beautiful things on the planet. And there's so many ways to attack that thing with a beer. And I like Mike's version of going with a Rauch on that. But for me, because you can also cut into that richness with like a lighter beer with a Helles, or something along those lines. But I like to match heavy with heavy.
Nice.
And for me, Aventinus with that Doppelbock, that for me is the way to go with a Schweinschocke.
I agree with you, and I would have said that beer, but we broke up with them about 5 years ago.
I'm so sorry
that
you did.
And I was a massive Schneider and Son fan, and still am. But we have a new Bavarian wheat beer producer.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, but we still sell. We still are able to sell vintage Schneider, and we still have some.
You have vintage August.
I don't know if we have Aventinus anymore, but we also had some vintage distilled Schneider, which was Aventinus distilled into a spirit.
Holy God!
Aged,
what?
aged on Chardonnay barrels.
John, are you paying attention?
I'm writing this down because I got a list for Mike that
I don't know if we're allowed to sell them or if they exist, but I think there are still bottles up at the OEC tasting room. I know I have a bottle, and I remember I first had it at Gingerbread Man.
Can you get a second?
And you have a distilled spirit that's like 45% alcohol, whatever proof, that tastes like the banana and cloves, phenols and esters of a Aventinus, but it's a spirit. Pretty fun experience.
The Aventinus Doppel or the Aventinus Ice?
I think we had both at one point for sure. Yeah.
Which they distilled.
I don't. With the distilled, I think it's the regular Aventinus.
It's probably
and I also have a vinegar they made from them as well, because we're pretty into vinegars up at OEC. So
yes, that's you mentioned.
That's kind of fun on a salad.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling I may have stolen some of John's thunder from the middle finger he gave me while I was mentioning my number one, or he was giving me the number one because he thought I would bring up the fact that I've had Aventinus while sitting in Schneider.
You don't need to mention it every time we talk about it.
Can I mention all the things you need to mention every time? Never mind. Yeah, I do because I like to torture you.
All right. All right. I have one over mention. Have to give you one over mention.
You got it.
All right. And that would be a Bavarian pretzel. All right. And I'm drinking that. I'm eating that while drinking a Urige Stickel.
Very
You
nice.
say the Urige Classic?
Not the classic, the Stickel.
The Sticka.
Oh, the Sticka. Right on.
And then so that's my honorable mention. Have to go there with that. But my top three, I'm going 3, 2, 1. So my number 3 is Wiener Schnitzel. I'm not going pork, I'm going veal. Wiener Schnitzel. But not with what the hell is this?
Know what you do?
Oh, it just something just popped up on my computer over here. Not like you said, you're like your pork schnitzel with the lemon wedges and everything, and that's a classic preparation. But another classic preparation is a Hunter sauce, the rich brown gravy with the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how I'm preparing my Wiener Schnitzel, and I'm drinking an Eyinger Celebrator with that.
Nice.
You mean this?
That one right there. Yeah.
Right
We lost Mike. Where did he go?
I think he just turned his camera off.
No, sorry. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Something's on fire, Mike.
No. Sorry about that.
I got you. Anyway, moving on. So my number 2, one of my favorite Oktoberfest dishes. I must get it a couple of times every year. Just had it this past Saturday, and that would be sauerbraten.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Sauerbraten.
That is such a great colon cleanser.
Sauerbraten's amazing, and of course, gotta get sauerbraten with a potato pancake, red cabbage, and Spätzle. That's the only way I need it on the plate. Right? That's it. So,
yeah.
And
that's the Spätzle soaks up all that liquid from the sauerbraten.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And with that,
I just can't put it next to the red cabbage. I can't stand red.
Well, no. Yeah, no. You need that potato pancake as the barrier.
It's got to be. Yeah, that's the barrier.
Don't let them mix. Yeah. Red cabbage.
You need a line of demarcation.
To be honest with you, I'm fine with an entire other plate of Spätzle.
I like. Yeah, that's
I'm good with.
But I like it. I like it with the gravy.
No, you have to have the gravy. You have to have the sauerbraten gravy. Yeah, absolutely. You have to have them with the ginger snaps and everything else. It's amazing. You have to have that on there. But I'm drinking an Aventinus with that. Yes.
That is perfect with that. Yeah, it's one of the few beers that probably could stand.
And while it is a Doppelbock, it is a Weizen Doppelbock.
It's a Weizen Doppelbock. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I stand corrected.
I sit corrected. You sit corrected. You're not standing. Yes. There you go. And my number 1, and Dave can probably guess what my number 1 is.
might be some kind of meat and tube form.
Exactly, and it starts with what letter?
What all the best things start with?
Exactly.
A B.
Right, exactly. That would be a bratwurst.
Like Be United.
Be United. There you go. Exactly. There you go. So, and a bratwurst, and I am drinking with my bratwurst. By the way, I'm having two bratwursts. I'm having a bratwurst with sauerkraut, really well made sauerkraut, and I'm also having a bratwurst with beer onions. Okay. So I'm having both. And of course mustard, but that's a given, right?
Yeah.
But I'm drinking a Weihenstephaner Vitus with that.
I knew Vitus would come into this at some point. That is my favorite Weihenstephaner.
Yeah. Corbinian is good, and of course the Hef is just it's classic, right? But
that's the
Vitus is what I'm drinking while I'm eating my 2 or 6 bratwursts. There you go.
Oh, I thought you were going to have a different beer for each one of your preparations.
No, just a Vitus or 2 or 3. There you go. So there's mine.
You mean these guys?
Those guys right there, Weihenstephaner, right there. Yes. Which I don't care. Look, we can put this together, the 3 of us and many more. Okay, 15 years from now, we are going.
It's 14 now, isn't it?
In another 3.5 months, it'll be 3. Well, no, 3 months from tomorrow, it'll be 14 years.
14 years, yeah.
We have to go to Weihenstephaner. Now, other than if Mike can bring up the reasons why Hofstetter is older than Weihenstephaner.
I don't know if I can prove it right now, but
how much older are they? Is it much older than 1040, or is it?
I think I can't remember the facts. So I think it's an Austrian. It might be. It comes down to like a working brew house versus a continuously working brew house.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, because Weihenstephaner got bombed and rebuilt.
Yeah. I think it has something to do with that, but for me,
so I don't think that they are older than 1,000 years. I think they're questioning that Weihenstephaner is not approaching 1,000 years because of the break because they got bombed.
Yeah, I think so. I think that has something.
I think that's where it comes. I'll ask my Austrian friends who are really into beer because that's how we met. We actually met in a brewery in Montreal and see what they say. I promise
you, there's a lot of people that got bombed at Weihenstephaner. I mean.
I did.
For me, the best thing. My favorite Weihenstephaner has always been Crystal Weiss.
Mm.
And
Crystal Weiss is amazing. It's very good.
Yeah. I cannot argue that.
And it's like one of those beers that I don't see a lot of other people making, and we pitched it to Ben at OEC, like, why don't we make a Crystal Weiss? Like, no one's making them, right? And they're
I'll
so
tell you right
good.
Now, the only Crystal Weiss I can get is Weihenstephaner.
Yeah, and it's regularly stocked at Schaller and Weber, and I bought one today. I didn't drink it yet, but I was like, it's just one of those things that I'll always reach for if it's available, and it's so unique to Weihenstephaner that I feel like there's 1 or 2 other German breweries that do it. Maybe Plinkus. I'm not sure.
I can imagine.
I think
they've got such a large catalog.
Well, you know what? Let's find out. We have the technology to search this. So.
That's a beer or that's a style to me, and I really love wheat beer. I love and if you guys love Vitus, I think you should try Brewery Michael Planck Heller Weizenbach. It's the yellow can. He is very, very concerned about his wheat and his yeast portfolio, and he really makes some beautiful flavors that may rival Schneider. Granted, I'm a home team player and rooting for my team, but they're
as you should be.
Amazing family.
That's on the show because it's about you and
they're an amazing family brewery that is 4 people strong. That's been around since the 1700s. And they make beautiful wheat beer that not a lot of people have tried. Some people have, but they're only available in cans. And sometimes people are confused by that because
And what I missed.
I think the wheat beer market tends to swing towards bottles. Plonk. Michael Plonk, Brewery Michael Plonk out of Laber, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
They do a Heffa, they do a Heller, and they do a Dunkler. And it's white.
The Dunkler's amazing too.
White, yellow, and black.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like the father and son brewery that is mostly.
Dave, I know you can get some of them.
Yeah, wheat beer and ACDC.
Will you?
And that's all they want to do.
Let me know on the side there.
Yeah, they're fun people.
I'll say one thing though. When we were talking about getting bombed at Vian Stefan, when I took the tour there's this one guy on the tour, and he was like standing back from everybody else.
Where was this tour? Sorry,
Vian Stefan.
Oh, Vian Stefan.
And he's standing back from everybody else. He has sunglasses on. And we're in the brew house, and he's standing right next to the open windows. So I walked over to him and went, "So how hungover are you?" He goes, "So bad." Like, there's only I know where you are right now. But when we got back after the tour, they're putting the samples out. After he had about 3 of the samples, he was fine. But he was, oh my God, he was close. He was close to just sitting down in a field.
Well, there was this guy too that you met there. So.
Yes.
Who's that?
So this was at Vian Stefan. This is on the tour. That was our tour guide. And so John, that beer in his hand, well, it's empty. It's a can of Rising Tide. That is Coastal Beer Works Rising Tide. And John gave me one of those to bring out there to have somebody hold that beer up, because Rising Tide is named after the town of Rising, of course. The best part about this is that guy right there. He's from Pennsylvania.
Love it.
So he was very excited to be holding a beer can from New Jersey while doing the English tour at Vian Stefan on a Wednesday, because it's the only time they do the English tour. But yeah, it was a lot.
We ended up meeting a handful of American brewers that I guess were interning, right, in Germany recently.
Well, it's a college.
Yeah. And
Greg Zaccardi was over there and brewed in Germany.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting to see when like we were in a Thaler brewery and there was a guy from New Jersey. He's like, "Hey, what's up? I know OEC." I'm like, "What? How? What do you mean?" Like, and
the best part,
they're learning.
Well, the best part is the Braustable, which is their dining, the restaurant.
Yeah.
If you look on the side of the door, there's a couple placards there. It actually has a room number, and that room number is for the college. So a lot of times when people will say, "Oh, can you do this?" Like, no, I've got a class in room, whatever the room number is for the Braustable, at 3. It just means they're going there to drink. But it actually has a room number for the college, because every now and then they will do lectures in the restaurant.
Nice.
I think it's probably beer pairings or something along those lines. So it became a joke amongst the students that they've got a class at the Braustable.
Yeah, it's
and that's the best meal I had.
Vanessa just commented a little bit ago. She goes, "Thank you for having Mike on the show. This has been fantastic."
Absolutely,
right on. Thanks, Vanessa.
And she said, "I miss the butchers in New York." Yeah. Oh,
some of the best butchers in the country.
The smoked meats are my downfall.
Yeah,
I'm skipping over a couple. And she said, smoked beefs, smoked fish, smoked turkeys soon.
Yes, coming.
And she recently found a 15-year-old aged cheddar. I gotta look at that. Cheddar is coming for the holiday, she said.
Have you ever smoked a moose? Just curious.
But it's hard to get into the bowl.
It's hard to get them lit. Yes. They walk through swamps all the time. So they're so damp. It's really hard to light those things.
Gotta love it. All right, Mike. What's coming up release wise for OEC? Import wise for Be United, vintages that are being released.
So like I mentioned earlier, the OEC, or maybe I did, the OEC brew house was down for about 4 weeks with a mechanical problem.
I'm opening my fourth beer anyway.
So we are releasing OEC Cool Ship Lager and Lager Black, which might be our best beer that we make. A Czech style black lager that is not sweet and finishes dry and is 5%. One of our best beers. And then we're starting to ramp up on some of our bigger beers, but we are now canning our English series, which starts with Hidalgo, which is a best bitter.
Great beer.
We're going to do Trifaldi, which is an oatmeal stout. And then one other bitter that we're going to do, can, keg, and we're going to put a few in firkins and pins. So,
nice.
I'm going to start going to the accounts that like to do a little cask ale, which I think we do some really nice stuff. And as far as the imports, it's just a lot more coming from Germany. I mentioned the new Schlenkerla. We have, I think, a new beer from Italer, the Benedictine monks in Ital. It's the Mythos, which is their Märzen.
Oh, nice.
And then we'll have the Curator, which is their 9% Doppelbock made just for the USA, like more of a Christmassy type beer. A lot of stuff coming in from Italy, some obscure BFM beers from Switzerland, lots of cool ciders, and then like some of the most amazing beers from all over Asia in the world in keg and can and bottle. The hits keep hitting.
Now, I need to ask. I have to ask this. Do they still make My Blueberry Nightmare?
It's funny you ask that because it's probably one of my favorite beers, and
I love beer, but it's very divisive beer, isn't it?
Say that again.
It's very divisive. People either hate that beer or love it.
Giovanni from Del Ducato, who's no longer there, he moved on. He's in a spirits company.
His name's not Matthias.
No. He invented that beer, and
Giovanni's a good name, by the way.
We still have,
you know what it translates to?
We don't sell it, but there are still singular bottles that are left because, but we don't sell it anymore. It was a very obscure kind of balsamic vinegar blueberry sour.
Oh, it makes a hell of a salad dressing.
Yeah,
it really does.
But
I did that.
Giovanni has come back to us. Del Ducato a few years ago was sold to Duvel. So Del Ducato still makes some beautiful craft beers, but they have the power and money from Duvel to have a laboratory. So now their beers are consistent. It wasn't a corporate takeover, so they still make fun beers, but since Giovanni left, they don't make obscure beers. And that beer will, if you ever find it on a shelf, buy it. It'll never be made again. But I know places to look. He came to OEC Brewery 2 weeks ago to
Giovanni?
To do a collaboration to try and create. We did it last year with him. We created a peach salt ale in cans from our own peaches and Calabrian salt that he gathered.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it had like a shelf life of 2 weeks and then exploded. But for 2 weeks, it was the best beer he ever had. And then it was a bomb. But he came and we made 3 different beers recently that we're releasing that are all tied into Italian ingredients and fruits from OEC. I haven't tasted them yet. I just have one in my pocket or in my basket right now that I picked up for my coworker. It's a hibiscus sea salt goza from Italy.
Nice.
We're going to wait and see. but we Italian imports.
But is there a blueberry one?
No, I don't think you'll ever see that beer again, unless you find it in the wild. And we don't have any
wild blueberry nightmare. There you go.
Yeah, we don't have any. We don't have any in the warehouse. I've checked, but
John and I know places that don't rotate very well.
That have an old dusty.
Yeah, those are places. And the thing is, there's places I've gone where you've got those bottles with the dust, and then the person that owns it starts to wipe the dust. Well, no, leave that dust on there.
I will say several, and I don't think this is like disclosing anything. Several locations of De Chico's in upstate New York, Westchester, have a great abundance of obscure Italian ales that they've aged that could taste very good.
There you go.
I'm thinking road trip soon.
Yeah. And
because there's the place I'm talking about in New York.
The place you're talking about is just above Nanuet.
Yeah. And they're
you know Cable Beverage?
Yeah. A lot of the people there are very nice about talking about it. So you could probably do it on a phone call before you go.
Yes, I have talked to them a couple of times before I've made a run up there. But the thing is, I'll run up there blind because you just go through the shelves. You're going to find treasures if you have the patience.
Yeah. I will say, too, if you're into it, we finally got a pallet of Del Ducato Verde back, which is a beer that
I don't know that one.
Not a lot of people have tried. It's an Italian imperial stout from Parma, Italy.
Oh,
and
that's so road trip. Got it.
It's made with Calabrian chili peppers.
And I just clicked on it. There's chocolate involved.
Yeah.
Del Ducato what? What is it?
It's called Del Ducato Verde, named after
the Italian word for green, which makes
Giuseppe Verdi. He grew up.
Oh,
yeah, he grew up in Saragna, which is where the brewery is located down the street.
That makes sense.
And it's their chocolatey Calabrian chili stout that.
So it's almost a Mexican stout.
Well, it's not like Mexican cake by any means.
No, I'm talking about Mexican cake, a true dry.
Yeah.
Mexican,
not like the Westbrook one, but it's
chocolate chili one.
It's very balanced.
It's a whole different one.
It's very balanced.
Yeah, which a true Mexican stout should be.
Yeah, yes. A lot of complaints I have are like, "Come on, man! I wanted to burn my mouth like a ghost pepper." And
sorry,
it's not that one. Do that. So I would enjoy that experience as well.
No, this is something I would definitely.
We just got it back in stock, and I always feel like a new bottle of these beers tastes better than a year-old bottle.
John, are you getting any of that?
I'm writing it all down. It's the regular Imperial Stout.
The Verde
Imperial.
Verde.
Kind of a fun, now that I'm leaning into the Christmas season, so my palettes are skewing towards fall and Christmas. So
it's kind of where I was going with that. What are we looking at for Christmas? You mentioned the one.
Well, we always do. We always get involved with the Dola Still Knocked, which is their Christmas beer. We always start pushing for fall. A brewery that we've worked with for many years out of Chieri, Italy, Grotto Plato. And we do something called Strada San Felice, which is their amber ale made out of chestnuts.
Ooh.
And then we do a chocolate oatmeal stout called Chocorubica, which are also like great Christmassy beers. And then we always lean heavy into the J.W. Lee's barley wines for Christmas.
You just made John's mouth water.
And then for Italy, we have Baladin, which makes a couple of Christmas beers. They make a Lion, which is a dark Belgian. And then they make something called Noel. And every 2 years, they change the recipe. This year, Noel is a 750 with orange and dark cacao. And it's a Belgian strong ale that comes in a 750 wax.
I'm sitting on a bottle of Noel that John's not letting me drink unless I drink with him.
And then
it's by the time we get to drink this together, it's going to be bad. So John,
it holds up. and then you guys.
See, it holds up. It holds up. See,
yeah.
This is like this was like 4 years old, I think.
It should be fun. Which is it? Is it cacao? Most likely cacao.
Let me pull it out.
I think it should be the dark chocolate cacao. It should be fine. And then we also do which a lot of people don't know about. We do a panettone from Baladin, where they infuse the panettone with a beer that they turn into a spirit, or beer that they turn into a vermouth.
That's fantastic.
Let's see which one this is. It is this fun.
Yeah, chocolat. Yeah, that's the dark chocolate from like 4 years ago. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It totally holds up. You could drink it 10 years from now. It's going to be great. Just don't cut your finger off with the wax.
There you go.
The wax is the toughest part of that bottle.
The wax is intact.
And well, if we're gonna drink it 2 years from now, start cutting the wax now, and then you'll be good.
No. And look at the dust. There is dust all over this.
The easiest way to open that is actually it's a bottle cap. So if you can get your bottle opener to pop the cap and then peel the wax, you won't cut.
Well, usually when I have wax like this, I just kind of pull up.
Yeah.
But you can carve under that and get under it.
My biggest pet peeve is wax on bottles. Okay, it's not worth the extra money, and I always cut my fingers.
Exactly. And Vanessa just said, her list of beers to hunt down for the holidays is greatly expanded from this show. Thank you.
Let's see if there's enough in your enough room in the recumbent trike to carry it all.
Yeah, I think anybody we do have available a lot of J.W. Lee's barley wine that is aged on Lagavulin or Willoughby sherry or port casks.
Mm-hmm.
They're little
9.7
ounce bottles. Sharing one of those and a Christmas dessert is like otherworldly.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. JWs, they're fantastic.
Great.
Although the Lagavulin might have to get a hold of one of those too.
Yeah,
we have we get. Well, we'll talk later, but
yeah.
But in any event, all right.
I'm rambling.
No, I love it. I love every bit of it.
A lot of good information.
Absolutely. All right. Any parting words of wisdom about Be United OEC, or just you in general and the show in general?
Well,
I know we were heavy on the German beers, but you guys,
it's that time of year.
Parting words of wisdom is just be open and keep trying new beer and make it fun and inclusive, and try things that you may not normally try. Experiment. Right. The one thing about Be United and me and my life and all of this is that if we can't create an environment where we are trying to be innovative, but it's okay to fail, then we're never going to move forward.
Never.
And we've always tried to be experimental and scientific and thoughtful in creating new experiences. And hopefully some people will respond to that. And while the rest of the world is maybe doing something else, right? And it doesn't have to be alcoholic. We're really, as much as I love beer and spirits, we're really leaning into different non-alcoholic options from Japan, from Italy, from Hong Kong, trying to get people to just get out of the tidal wave of mass-produced products that we all love, but maybe we can do something else with.
You're not wrong.
Absolutely. Amen
to that. And I just opened the fourth, so we're going to be talking a couple minutes after I end the show. But
I had mine already. Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
And he crushed it like Quint.
I did.
Crushed it like Quint. There you go.
That's one of my favorites.
That's fantastic. All right. Mike, stick around because we got a couple things to talk about after the show. But thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been amazing. Even Vanessa just said too. Hold on. Let me throw a per comment. Lots of notes from the show. Awesome.
Yeah, I've got something as well.
Glad people like it.
Absolutely. All right. Once again, Mike, thanks for coming on the show. Stick around. We got to talk for a couple minutes. On that note, we'll wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Pandora, Amazon Music Podcast, iTunes Music, YouTube Music, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Once again, Mike, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been super informative. We're going to do that. We're going to put that Schlenkerla show together, too. We're going to do that. So,
thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Really fun.
We'll put that together. Maybe we'll do that over the winter. There you go. We'll do that, definitely.
Yeah,
that's a good time.
That's a good time to do that show. But anyway, thanks for coming on. Stick around. We'll talk in a minute. Guys, have a great week. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk to you. An 8-1. Thank you. Over an 8. Awesome.
What's that? That's a rating for the show?
Rating.
Oh, I rate his outro every week because it's a script, and there's times where he's just stumbled all over himself, and there's times.
Depends on how much I've had to drink. I just opened my fourth beer, and they've all been around 5%. So I'm good.
There's times where he's had a lot to drink, but it's just like he's savantly autopilot.
I was trying not to be that guy tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, all right. Like I said, have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly, and we will talk to you next week, folks.